look around once in a while, you could miss it.
The nerve, the nerve, the nerve.
Everyone was supposed to hear that, but
I'm not in here. You're lucky. You see, you're lucky. I saved you right in time.
no, you saved yourself. What are you talking about, bro?
Okay. That's
Damn, I
yourself.
got some crazy ass waves in my hair today. Damn, that was completely unintentional. I didn't even realize that until
Yeah, man, you got waves and dudes out here collecting boots. Yo, bootsa.
About to have a surf off with Jack Move.
Oh Lord, here we go. Here we go.
Right, new hairstyle, damn straight, bro.
Don't get him started, especially when he had the towel and he did that weird ass pose. Don't get Jack Move started. Don't get him started. Oh Lord. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Good to see you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Red Hood will be here when he can get here. This man literally called me and was like, yo, Big Cloud, yo, I got my new PC, right? Like I put everything together, but I got to install my AIO, my all-in-one cooler. And then he got to install his, he said, install his AIO, then he got to install Windows. I'm like, bro, don't rush. First of all, don't rush that, number one. Number two, yeah, you're probably gonna miss the whole show at this rate. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into these topics. But first, shout out to the chat. What's up, Briar? What up, Mass Produce, Cubini Gaming? What up? Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Don't you worry. Henry, what up? We got Severin, Malik. What's up, bro? Good to see you in a minute. Butch, Dion. What up? I love Shake. He says get Blaze on. Blaze is on his streaming little convergence. He'll be back on. We'll get him back on the show. Don't worry. But he's on the streaming hiatus right now. So we're letting the man stream. He wants to pursue the Twitch life. Like I don't.
Twitch man hype.
Yeah, I don't even know you're gonna get Solidcast tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I'm be honest with you, I don't know. One day he told me Solidcast. Hey guys, we're kind of done with Solidcast, and then he hits me up out of the blue. He's like, yo, Big Cloud, yo, I'm doing Solidcast. I'm like,
Y'all are just the worst. I swear. I be on their ass, y'all. Just so y'all know.
Shame.
The reason why we here right now is because of me.
Shame.
That's for Blaze 4K. All right, I'm gonna hit it one more time. That's for Blaze 4K. Just for Blaze 4K.
Shame. Shame.
There's nothing I can do.
Shame.
Okay. Anyway, that's Blaze though. That's Blaze time. So you gotta hit up Blaze about that. What a white woman at. You already know they everywhere.
That's the problem.
Oh, here you go. Stop. Here you go. Here we go. Corey, what up? Donald needs a snow bunny. Oh Lord, here we go. What up, Ace? John Wolf, what's up, bro? I gotta get you on here one of these shows. It's good to see you, brother.
Word. That's the man right there.
Oh yeah, always in this chat, always supporting. Shout out to my brother John Wolf. He has a podcast. I think he still does it. Go ahead, go show him some love, man. Good dude. Hustle and Motivate, been a member for 14 months. Holy hell. Shout out to Hustle and Motivate. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
Yep, that's good, dude.
It's another one right there. I don't know if he's doing...
I'm getting his shoe game up, bro. He killing the game right now.
Oh, he nonstop with that. Yeah, he nonstop. Like, my thing is this: who you gearing up to fight, Hustle? Because you got enough shoes to survive an apocalypse. Like, who you gearing up against? I want to know. I need confirmation on this, sir.
Man, he trying to show up Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon can't do it no more, so Hustle got to step in and show him how it's done now.
Hey, at this rate, Shane McMahon is barely gonna walk if he keep blowing his knees out like that. If he keep blowing his knees out, Shane ain't gonna be walking at this rate. Let's just keep it a buck. ACO 7, what up? We got
Good, Hunter.
What else is in here? Oh, Hunter's in here. What up, Hunter? Good to see you, brother.
What's going on? Oh, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yep.
Oh,
Sound good?
man. Yeah, it's going all right. How you guys doing?
We good. We just saying what's
Chilling,
up
bro.
to
Having
the
fun.
chat. What up, Nathaniel, Jerry, Hurricane? What's up in here? I think that's everybody.
Just thinking, we got lots to talk about this week. We got PlayStation selling, what, 2 million units in 1 month, and we got
Pretty much selling them out. Yeah.
Windows Central talking about the death of Xbox.
Dude, and then it's like it's so one sided. It's like 4-1 everywhere at this point for PlayStation.
Hi-Fi
against
Rush.
Xbox.
Hi-Fi Rush not doing good. Oh, we got lots to talk about today.
A little too much, but we gonna get into this, man. Let's go ahead and get into the show. We're joined again by Cult Classic Gage. You know, she hit me up last minute, so shout out to her. As you guys know, Red Hood can't. Well, he'll make it if he can. His PC is it's being dissected, I guess, like I just said. So let's see if you'll
Operation
get that.
time.
Yeah. And of course, we got Next Gen Player. What's up, brother? Good to see you. And let's get into this, man. Because you already know this has been it's been an interesting week, I guess you can say. It's been mixed with laughs. It's been a mixture of concern. It's been a mixture of excitement, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to get right into, I guess we'll just jump right into the, pretty much. Let's get right into the fire, man. Let's get this chat hyped for a second here. Let's get this chat a little fired up. So, you guys already know the whole situation with Redfall. We all talked about it, you know. Makes no sense for this to be your first next-gen game and it's 30 FPS. And you got Todd Howard pretty much given the same energy. He's basically saying he's okay with that for Starfield. Since then, there has been a lot of, like, fan outcry, I guess you can say. A lot of people have spoke up about it. And shout out to everybody who has voiced their concerns, voiced their opinions. I've seen you. I've seen a few people that I'm good friends with. I got no issue, you know, I never had an issue with, but a lot of people were even surprised by, you know, I seen Dealer Gaming get hit with it. You know, people saying RDX is a biased Xbox show, even though they've had Mike Ybarra and pretty much all the Xbox engineers on the show, you know, praising Xbox most of the time they've done. He's actually been getting hit with the saying like, yo, this channel's biased against Xbox. And I'm like, at what point are we just going to hold a company accountable and stop throwing, you know, these unrealistic scenarios out here and saying like, listen, every ounce of criticism you give a company is flat out hate. That's not the case. It's not. Everybody wants better for this box. Everybody needs better for this box because that puts pressure on PlayStation. But at this rate, Sony's been doing this but at this rate though, it's been so one-sided. Sony still has been keeping up. But again, I speak for everybody here when I can tell you it could be 5 times more consistent if Microsoft was up here pushing.
Dude, we'd have a
high-quality
showcase by now.
Exactly.
If Xbox would put the heat on them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so one-sided. Good.
What is it, like 18 months since we've had a showcase?
Mm-hmm.
Sony, like, why would they even, like, it's so, like,
why would they even try?
It blows my mind because it's like, as a fan, we want a showcase. Like, we want to know what the future of this brand is. But, like, at the same time, when your competition is, like, dude, this is even worse this gen than last gen. At least right now. Like, because I just saw, like, the latest numbers. And they're dude, last year was absolutely
terrible for Xbox. This year they at least have.
No, I'm talking about last gen.
Yeah, last gen.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking like
this current gen has been a very mixed bag. Whereas, literally last gen Xbox came out dead. So
I totally disagree with that. I think they actually came out. I think Xbox One was actually better than PlayStation when it first came out because
one side, yeah, for sure.
In what way?
because they
whoa, hold on.
In terms of the
Better than
content,
PlayStation when it dropped?
when if he's talking about Xbox One,
when
Box
PlayStation 4
coming out $100 more expensive.
he's talking about
Amongst
it
console
doesn't-
gamers,
he's
I'm
talking about
talking about the
PS4.
and being at a huge. No. That's what I'm saying.
He's talking
No,
about
but if you
The
compare the first
PS4
2 years of the games lineup, I'm saying Microsoft. I think Sony was in such a bad shape when PS4 dropped that they like went all in on indie because their first party lineup was like nowhere near as good.
that is a fact. Yeah.
They had like Titanfall alone.
Wait, are we gonna
was-
act
was-
like Rise, Son of Rome was actually like a next gen worthy
Rise Son
upgrade?
of Rome. You had
Yes.
what was the zombie game? It was
You had Dead Rising.
and Rise Son
You
of
had
Rome.
you had. I'm not sure if it was in the first couple of years, but you had Tomb Raider that came out.
Dead
was-
Rising 3, the what is it, the second worst Dead Rising game, Rise Son of Rome, which was a 4-hour experience at best.
But I
Look,
know the Xbox games
One
were-
launch. Look, the Xbox One launched literally $100 more expensive. You were forced to have a piece of shit Connect. I went 360 was my console that generation. I went full on board with PS4 because of how garbage Xbox last generation chose to be out of the gate. Period. Now this gen, well, I mean, look, Xbox has been a mixed bag. Last year was terrible for Xbox. This year, they have a reasonably, like a actual lineup of games. Hi-Fi Rush was a great start. Whether you like the fact that what's it called is 30 FPS.
We're crazy here. They launched the system with no games.
Yeah.
Series
I
X
agree.
launched with no games.
I agree.
None.
But this year
last
is
year they had no
literally the
games.
best. Arguably, it's sad to have to say this because the performance of some of these games are trash, but that's been a problem across the spectrum of console gaming right now in terms of performance. But this year is way better for Xbox than it's been the past 10 years. That's sad that that's the case, but that's literally
I wouldn't say that. I don't know about this.
Like Hi-Fi Rush is
Hi-Fi Rush is a nice start,
but
but that's about it.
true. We're getting
what
Starfield
else
this
do we
year.
have?
Starfield is going to be pretty much 30 FPS.
But
Well, I mean,
You
we're talking about
it's
two
30
games here.
FPS, but guess what? How many people are going to play that game?
How many do you think are going to play that game? You think Starfield's going to turn the tide? Or is enough? You
Bro,
think Starfield's
are you
enough?
doubting Bethesda? Look up the most look at Fallout 76's sales, bro.
Oh.
That is a piece of shit game. Look at the sales. Look at the interest that Bethesda garners with Starfield. Do you think that Starfield is gonna be a bomb? Are you kidding me? You sleeping on Bethesda, bro?
What I
You
was
think
saying is I'm
Starfield
just
is
talking about the
I'm speaking objectively. I have hated Fallout 4. I thought it was a piece of shit RPG game. Fallout 76, also another piece of shit RPG game.
Fallout game.
But
It
it's
was.
still.
It was the best-selling Fallout game
But this is the point I'm trying to make. You're sleeping on Starfield. Fallout 4 is a piece of shit Fallout game in comparison to previous releases. It's one of the best-selling games that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Objectively speaking, Starfield is going to be a big hit, whether you like that or not, whether it's 30 FPS or not. You can't sleep on Starfield, man. That would be a foolish, subjective.
Who's sleeping on Starfield?
We're not sleeping on. I'm asking. Do you think Starfield is going to be it to sell it? Because Redfall
It's going to be a success, no doubt.
Okay.
It's
No doubt.
What? Just to clarify, when I was saying that out of the gate, I think Xbox launched with a better lineup than PlayStation. If you go back and look at the actual games that Sony released in the first couple of years of PS4, it wasn't that much. There was Killzone, there was Knack, there was Little Big Planet 3.
What has been consistent more often than not when it comes to console gamers?
There was Sony had 2 games per year. They had The Last of Us remastered. They had some remastered stuff that came out.
Yep.
Drive Club, which it was a great game, but it totally bombed.
Yeah.
I don't think PS4
Wait,
started to
but
really like PS4 really kicked off and started to kick Xbox One ass, and I'd say in about 2015 because that
Yeah.
2015.
Why are we going to bring up exclusives when Jim Ryan literally just threw all of their first party under the bus for Call of Duty? What, like a few weeks ago?
Hey, that's
Yeah.
true.
Dude,
That's true. That's
excuses
true.
I'm just saying
really,
that there was better games on Xbox.
When the main dude,
What
when the
time-
main dude is saying that exclusives don't really even matter, do they? Why are we really gonna have that conversation?
Well, I mean, we're talking about, yeah, he said that, but again, this is, we're going off of what the consumer sees here. The consumer has had more games.
And guess what
on
I see?
Sony's.
Guess what I see? Call of Duty being #1 all the time in sales. That's the consumer speaking, right?
That's Call of Duty as big as casual game. I mean, we're comparing that to everything. Ugh.
Yeah. That's really what counts.
And you expect
That's
that?
what Jim Ryan's saying. That's what the consumer is saying. It just matters the biggest game, and guess who wins?
I'm getting.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
How is this gonna help?
Yeah,
Microsoft?
I'm bored. I own 2 PS5s, bro. I'm fucking bored with PS5. I'm playing third party. I'm waiting for Final Fantasy 16 to drop because even Square at its worst still has the most interesting game that right now for PlayStation. Because PlayStation hasn't shown anything. And in my personal opinion, PlayStation tried harder last gen when Xbox last gen to me was at its absolute worst. So to me, it's like to say that it's Xbox's fault that PlayStation isn't trying to be exceptional. It is not.
But
that ain't it for me.
It's called pressure. We're talking about pressure here. If Sony had the pressure on the neck, Microsoft would drop in banger after banger, AAA, like legit bangers, a real reason to get into their if Microsoft was putting a big like I'm talking pressure on their market, which Sony wants, market share. Sony would be more consistent in terms of updating you on shows. You would have more releases and everything nature. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. Sony has
probably have
is
like less
putting
cross-gen too, right?
Exactly.
Like Sony would be more in on PS5, like all in on PS5 if they were getting the heat from Microsoft. But the fact that they're not, they're like,
But how is Microsoft not giving PlayStation heat? It looks like PlayStation is going to lose in the courts with this. So their fallback should be, let's concentrate on the games. That's what I personally
look at the hardware sales.
Have you seen hardware sales
in Japan again? Xbox is totally dead in Japan.
Xbox
is like six to 1 in Europe.
This is nothing new.
Sony is like 6 to 1 in
Xbox's entire lifetime.
They've
always been doing shit in Japan.
They're down 500%.
No, but
compared to PlayStation, even in Europe.
But guess
they
where
were
Xbox
doing
is excelling
substantially
at.
better in Xbox even like 6 months ago.
Yep.
6 months ago, they were
always a
on
losing
track.
battle in Japan.
What's that?
At this point, it's always a losing battle for Xbox in Japan.
No, I know, but
there's never been an instance where they've ever been close to pulling anything off that puts a big hit in Sony's pocket. At this point, even Sony's losing in Japan.
360, I disagree. They sold a couple million units in
1.5 million consoles
and they
versus
actually
like
got
10...
some exclusive JRPGs because
Well,
they
I'm
actually
finished,
had,
yes. Yeah.
They sold several million units of 360 and they ended up getting some exclusive
1.5 million.
let
They
him
couldn't
finish.
even crack 2 million.
Well,
I'm correcting something that was simply incorrect.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
correct me to get his point. Go. Let me get his bars off. He's speaking.
But they actually managed to get enough consoles sold that they were actually getting some JRPG support, which these days Square Enix doesn't even bother with Xbox, and NAS America doesn't. Access, everyone that produces JRPGs these days, 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 15 will even bother to land on Xbox these days. And that was totally not the case in the 360 era.
That's a losing battle in general. In 360 PS3, right? PS3 sold 10 million units in Japan, right? Xbox 1.5 million. That's a
good though, man. That's 15%.
Compare what they did last time.
15%
is a loser's
better
battle.
than
You
0.5%.
literally want Microsoft to fight a losing battle in Japan. What is the point? That is a waste of time. Their brand has no significance. There.
I love
Are we going to
Japanese
talk
games.
about in modern day where Japan, they're kind of getting off the console game? Even PlayStation is seeing negative returns being invested in Japan. So why would they continue to fight a losing battle in which the market
How do
is
how do
shrinking?
you substantiate
Yeah,
that?
where'd you get that?
Because Sony would never be
Look
in a
at
territory
Nintendo
where they're.
sales. Look at Nintendo sales
I know,
versus
but they're still
PlayStation
making money
sales.
in Japan. They're just not making like.
They are
nearly as
making
much.
money. I'm not denying that. But there is a shrinking market for consoles in Japan.
But that's been the case for like 15 years at least.
Exactly. So you're continuing to fight a losing battle in Japan. Microsoft already has they have everything against them in Japan already.
It's not just exclusive to Japan. They need to compete worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
They can't.
I agree with that.
They can't just like ignore especially like the one reason why they would want to battle for Japan, even though they're being like beat like crazy, is that Japan is extremely influential in the game development market. A lot of the major publishers come from Japan. Half the video games that get released come out of Japan. Like they need the presence, because I am in Japan all the time, and I'm sort of in that mindset quite a bit. And they like over there, it's like some people don't even think about Xbox. It's totally like an afterthought. Why be
there? My question is, why be there?
Because that's where games are made, and that, like, you don't want to be, if I'm like, working for Square Enix and Bandai Namco, and I go to my local game shop and I don't even see Xbox, or I see like this little tiny corner, in my mind that's what Xbox is. Like, Xbox is nothing. So why would I care about that?
As a company, as this isn't socialism where equal distribution happens. This is like, basic economics that we have across the world. If this country does not have a market for my product, why am I going to waste time when I've done this for how many decades now? Many decades trying to get into this market, just to see more and more negative results. As the result, nothing is changing. They've tried this avenue every single time.
But
what is the point of concentrating so much time? They have tried, and they still lose. Even at
no, they tried
best,
for the 360, and they actually had pretty good success. Like,
and they still lost.
So, but it doesn't. It's not about
10-1.
It's not about being Sony. It's about momentum.
And guess what? It's not just.
Look
it's
at the
not
numbers.
just Japan.
10-1.
It's not just Japan though. It's everywhere.
I'm saying 10-1 is because somebody posted. I saw somebody tweet it. It was like right now it's like 300-1 or something.
Yeah,
that,
300-1.
That was the latest Famitsu sales. It was
here's
10-1 is way better than 300-1.
Here's the problem. You want Xbox to fight PlayStation's game. That's what you want. But that is a loser's battle.
Just want good games. That's all I want. And they need to be in the market to get good games. I don't actually, like, for all I care, like, I don't give a crap if they sell one console. I want Japanese games from Japanese publishers on my Xbox. I don't want to have to go to other consoles to get that.
But you already do that.
Oh, but here's.
But you literally already do that.
Cass,
I own everything.
Because I want them to get the games so that they can compete better, so they can put more heat on Sony and their competitors, so that Sony.
So let me ask you a question, Hunter. If the same game and it's parity between the Xbox and the PS5, it's the same game, it plays exactly the same on both consoles, where are you going to get that game on? Xbox or PlayStation?
9 times out of 10, or not, probably more, I get on my PlayStation. This particular gen, and other gens is big different.
Hey, Cass, so you know the numbers for the U.S., right? Which is where Microsoft is primarily stationed, right? The U.S. So you know the numbers are like 5-6-1. PS5 to Xbox. So by your logic,
yeah, this is where they need to fight, because they could win the battle here.
Really,
they can't win in Japan.
If it's 5,
so concentrate your resources here.
But if it's 5-6-1 in the area where this is where they quote unquote have all the bells and whistles, and this is where they do better. Why and you're saying by your logic, okay? Why should they try if it's a losing battle? Because pretty much 6-1 is a losing battle.
Because Xbox has won in America in the past, and they're perfectly capable of doing so.
Once.
Yes.
They won once.
Yes. More than in
Once.
Japan.
And mind
Way-
you, that one
That's
time
one
they
more
won.
time than in Japan.
Okay, but here's the thing though. That one time that they won, that's because Sony got cocky and screwed up their marketing completely for PS3.
I agree. And
Since
guess
then,
what?
since then, it hasn't
what?
come close to that.
PlayStation is doing the same thing now. And I'm saying, why waste your resources in places where you can't win when you could put those resources in places where you can win? Look, I will say this. Xbox is completely losing the battle on the console market. But
That's
you
the
know
point
where
we're
they're
trying to make.
winning? You know where they're winning?
Software?
On PC.
I mean, service.
They are winning on PC. Game Pass is at, guess where all the gamers are with Game Pass? A lot of them, the majority of them are on PC. Guess what PlayStation just had to do? Raise the prices of Steam games on PC because they sell in the way that they want to. And guess what that's just going to encourage? Whatever piracy is
we can get
happening
to
on
that.
PC for PlayStation games is just going to increase more piracy. So you can increase the price of games, but console gamers are going to PC gamers are going to do one of these and just pirate your games. So they're putting themselves in a circular firing squad situation, whereas Xbox is doing their thing on PC.
True. Yeah, doing better on PC. But again, if we're talking about the hardware conversation, the dominant market, by your logic, they shouldn't even compete. It's everywhere.
I think we talked about this last week. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's so
I honestly
one-sided.
don't know why any Xbox fan would even bother with the console these days. They have more games that they release on PC. They're doing better on PC, right? Like, I don't actually see the benefit. I
don't see the benefit of console. If you're a remotely intelligent person, what's the point of a console?
Consoles are for simplicity. Everybody wants
I
simplicity.
mean,
Exactly.
there's lots of
They're for
lots of-
simplistic.
there's
They're for
simplicity.
simple-minded people.
What?
That's
They're
Wait,
not.
no, it's not. Okay, Cash, chill. He just said something about
What?
people.
What?
Yo,
is that?
PC
What's your-
race, bro.
that was a terrible
PC
take.
Console is
race.
for-
Hold up.
Some people don't want to like.
Some people don't
just
want
want plug and play. They don't want to have to deal with constant upgrades. They don't want to like. It's way
You
easier
don't
to
have to
plug
deal
your
with
console
console.
into your into
You
your
don't
TV
have to
than-
deal with constant upgrades. The whole point of the PC is you could upgrade at your own leisure.
You do kind of. You want to go through the ray tracing.
Yeah, but there's
What,
a whole.
what is ray tracing?
There's lots of there's
Ray
a
tracing
reason
is
why
a
the console
waste
market
of
is the
resources.
same.
And I'm saying
They're
you
a
want
waste of
you want
fucking
all
resources.
you want all the bells and whistles that consoles are getting in general. You have to eventually upgrade your GPU and CPU to the higher tier ones.
Yeah, but
Yes, and on
but-
PC you could choose when you want to do that.
Okay,
At your own
but
leisure. If you really want to go
consoles-
to ray
like-
tracing, ray tracing is an absolute waste of resources, right? But on PC you get to choose when you want to go after that, or if you want to go after that.
But console versions of games have way less cheaters than PC, so that's one reason why you'd want to have that. It's way easier to plug in your console into your home TV in the living
dealt with
room. Like,
bro, we're dealing.
Look,
The future is crossplay, so you're gonna have to deal with PC cheaters and console cheaters at
but
some point.
a
or
lot
another.
of games let you opt out of
Go
that.
try.
But
Go try.
I'm just
matchmake
saying
on
there's
Fortnite
clear and
without
logical
crossplay.
and easy to understand reasons why people like consoles. Like we
Yeah, for
calling
simplistic
console
people.
players dumb is just not what we should be doing. And there's a reason why the console market is the same size as the PC market.
But look, realistically speaking, there's no reason for a console. You could argue that. I'm literally sitting here and arguing that with you guys right now.
There's
It can be
tons of
argued.
reasons.
There's always a reason.
There's
for
so many
consoles.
reasons why you want it. It's like even just the simplicity of plug and play. When I'm on PC,
I like that too, but
I got to fiddle with
you could buy a
settings.
laptop, you could
Sometimes
buy a
I have
Steam Deck.
incompatibility problems with it. Like it's not just plug and play. I have to fiddle around for a little bit. And if I'm somebody that doesn't want to do that, I just want to download a game and start playing it right away and
Steam
know
Deck.
that it's going to work on my platform.
Guys, people want simplicity. They're gonna get consoles.
Yeah, Steam Deck.
Yes.
Steam Deck.
Yeah, but
Yes,
even-
anybody goes drop
even
Steam.
even
Then
that,
shop
like,
the
Steam Deck can't-
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck can't compare to PS5 in terms of
Laptop.
performance.
Laptop.
Steam Deck. I have a Steam Deck and I use it like every day, but
She's
it,
a
like
laptop.
quality wise, it's like PS3 or
If you
like
really
early
gotta
PS4.
be, if you can't deal with it, oh my god, I have a hard time plugging in the cord to the power supply and into the wall.
For a laptop? Listen, okay.
Why are we even talking about this?
I don't
There's
understand.
hundreds of millions of console players. Like
I don't even know what is he talking about.
Why are we talking like? There's obviously a market. There's obviously a reason. I get preferring PC, right? I actually do prefer console, but I have a gaming PC over here. I got my Steam Deck over here. I play like 30-40% of my time on PC. And I totally get why you play 100% of your time on PC, but like, there's a market for everything.
Wait, my thing.
I agree with that.
Except for cloud gaming.
By your logic, I'm literally just using the same logic here. Literally.
You said simplicity. Just get a laptop. How much are these laptops?
Or a Steam Deck.
For these gaming laptops, how much is Steam Deck?
You have choices. That's the great thing about it. A Steam Deck, you pay $400. You could take it outside with you. Guess what? If you take your PS5 outside with you, guess what you're gonna get? A fucking black screen.
Even
Okay.
even as
you
a
could take
Sony
your
fan,
Steam
even
Deck
the
outside, you could
basics.
touch grass while holding and playing with your Steam Deck. You could do both at once.
But even though Sony's putting their games on PC, like one of the reasons why you probably want to get, like, a lot of people would want to get a PS5 is that Sony is still at least giving like a year of exclusivity on PS5. Like, why would I wait a year to play Spider-Man 2? I would never do that. Like, that is just the first. I would
because
never
you'll
in
get
my
the
life
better
wait.
version.
I don't.
You
it
will
doesn't
literally
matter.
get the ultimate version.
I might die in 9 months.
Yeah,
or
we
eight.
all.
Like,
Yo,
I want
the
when
Earth
Spider-Man
might
comes
blow
out, I'm
up
playing it right
tomorrow.
now because the next day I could walk into my house and get hit by a
The
bus and I'm
Earth
dead.
might
So
go
I'm not waiting.
full speed into the sun tomorrow. We're not getting Spider-Man 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry to have to inform you. That's just
I'm
the
just saying
chance
that
we take.
the Sony games are so good that I would never wait. Like, some people would, of course, but I'm just saying, like, 10, 20, 30 million. They got over 30 million sold now. Like, those people don't want to wait. And Sony's going to end up selling, like, 100 million plus.
That sounds like a personal problem. I'm just saying. No self-control.
What? Why would I choose to not play an awesome game that I fully have access to playing right now? Like,
because you can get the better version later. You can get the ultimate version.
I'm telling you this.
I don't
This is what I'm gonna
care.
do. This is what I'm gonna do, Cass. Because this is funny. I got the chat. Everybody say that.
20 million people are going to buy PlayStation or Spider-Man 2 on PS5, and they're not going to care that PC is going to get a definitive version. And
So you're gonna buy.
This is what we're gonna do. This is what we. Hold on a second. Cal, let me reel it in here. I'm gonna let the chat decide the way. I'm gonna let the
plays
chat.
perfectly well on PS5. Okay, Spider-Man 2 will play perfectly fine. Like, might not have the advanced ray tracing or whatever we're gonna get on PC, but it's gonna look beautiful. It's gonna play beautiful. It's gonna be immaculate to play on the PlayStation 5.
So,
Yeah.
Cass, I want you to look
it just won't take full advantage of your $3,000 TV.
Yeah. Hey guys, so we got damn near 100 people here. Listen, guys, I want everybody to go to this poll I just put in the chat. Yeah, Cass is saying. I asked, what is more convenient? Okay, what is more pick up and play? Is it a console or a PC?
Steam Deck. You didn't even include Steam Deck. This
it's
is
in there.
a false
All right, okay.
poll.
Hold on,
This is
hold on.
laptop and PC.
Hold up. Let me
Right, you can literally take your Steam Deck outside and
redo
go
that.
touch grass. Like, what are you talking about? Like, simplicity here.
I got you. Let me make sure.
That's as pick up and play as it gets, bro.
I think Steam Deck is great, but I'm just saying, like, the quality of the games is nowhere near PS5. Like, when I play the PS5,
But you were just arguing that Spider-Man 2 is gonna play just fine on your PS5.
Yeah,
and you don't want to wait for it to come to PC. But now when it comes to Steam Deck, we're gonna move the goalposts? Come on, bro.
No, I'm not. What do you? I'm just saying like when I play Spider-Man on my Steam Deck, it doesn't look as good as when I play Spider-Man remastered on my PS5. It certainly looks way better on.
And the
on
the same situation is gonna apply from a PS5 to PC.
All right.
for sure.
The poll is up.
I'm just saying that like there's clearly a reason why you want to get a PS5 over a Steam Deck.
All right, y'all. So the poll.
I have both. I like both, but if money was an issue, I'd just get a PS5.
Yeah. So all right, let's go. Let's let the chat decide this for you, because you.
Do I get to vote?
Yeah, go ahead. You vote. Go ahead. You help yourself.
Oh, I can vote.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not petty. I'm not even gonna hit the vote, guys. Hit the vote.
How is this even a poll, man? PlayStation 5, you just plug in the HDMI cable and you're good to go. I gotta do at least a little bit more on my like.
I don't know, man. Are you
whenever
scared
I play
of
Steam Deck
drivers?
game, I at least go into the options and like.
She said drivers.
Console
be like 30
peasants
seconds,
are
but I
still
still do it.
scared of drivers, bro. In 2023.
Yo, Cash, you want something? You said drivers. Stop. Yo, stop. She said drivers. Yo.
Oh no, not the drivers. Anything but the drivers. Oh no.
She said drivers.
Yo, we got Greg Miller doing
Shame.
fucking WWE entrances because he's
Shame.
afraid of PC drivers,
Shame.
bro. This is 2023 console
man.
peasantry.
Greg Miller is like making me crack up laughing, man. I love.
Oh
that
my
he's been like going
God.
after PC players. Again, I love PC. I love PC. I love PC gaming, but
Oh my God.
I just think it's funny, man. His clips have been hilarious lately.
Oh, I'm dying. She said, y'all are crazy.
You
Let's
saw
go.
him like he walked out on his latest show and like laughing about the like $10 increase of Sony games.
It's
It was-
$10 for Canada. If you're in Argentina,
Yeah.
you're looking at more than double the price increase for some games. Oh man, you know, God forbid you take into account, you're doing this to a third world country that also likes to play video games. I'm just saying, Sony. I'm just
this is-
fucking saying, bro.
This is one of the things too that which is like going back to the why I want Xbox to compete more is like it's stuff like this, man. Like Sony is like think about it, how ironic this is. Sony is kicking the ass of Microsoft in terms of hardware sales, and they jacked up all their prices.
Yeah.
Sony can actually increase their price and then actually increase the amount of consoles they're selling versus Xbox. Like it is just nuts. Like they were like almost like 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 in sales back before the price increase, and now the increase and now it's 4-to-1. It's insane.
Game
Sony would
Pass.
have a lot more
Game
pressure
Pass.
to not increase their console prices if they were like in a PS3 kind of situation and getting their ass whooped by Microsoft.
Yep. So all right. So we're looking at the poll here. We got 67 people participating in this poll. Guess.
Yep.
I think you can see the results, or can you not see the results?
Oh yeah,
You see the
they're pretty
results?
typical.
That's-
They're pretty typical of the the console peasant
Oh,
live stream.
Lord.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Okay. So I have a lot of PC guys in the chat, by the way.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, and they
Oh,
voted with
okay,
me 'cause they're,
okay.
smart. They understand the concept of taking your Steam Deck outside and touching grass.
Oh Lord. Well, there's your poll. So in the battle of which you just said, you said it's more easy to pick up and play with PC over console. 87% said yes to console, and
I have a simple reply.
13% on your claim.
Democracy was a mistake.
What is this? Yo, shame. Shame. Okay, shame. On that note, Gas came in where we were trying to go for blood. Oh Lord. All right.
Keeps it interesting, bro.
No, it does not. That was unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, man. I'm having fun.
You're intrigued. You hear this, Hunter?
Yes.
She's intrigued. Oh Lords.
Always looking to learn something new.
Back on this. Hold on. So since we're on the topic of PC, yes, Sony has raised the price. What are they charging, $70 now for PC games? Is that what they're doing? Again, for PC?
It depends.
I
So
don't know.
the price
Canada.
increase is specifically in Canada, Japan, and Argentina. In
mean,
Canada,
I'll-
the price is increased, to about $10 more. It's like a 30-ish% increase in Japan, and anywhere from double to 70% increase in Argentina. So it's kind of ugly. It's kind of gross.
Huh? Oh, okay, so I'm trying to estimate how much would that.
I'm just looking at. Well, dude, I'm in Toronto, and so the prices here in Canada are already ridiculous. Like, I think most games are 90 plus tax.
Mm-hmm.
That's brand new games that come out. I'm just actually looking at Steam in Canada, and Spider-Man is $80. So I guess it probably would have been 70. Now it's $80 in Canada.
Jesus.
With tax, you're looking at like 90 plus.
I mean, on PC,
$90.
at least we got options. I
Yeah,
never paid full price for a PC game. Just saying.
Just console games alone here in Canada are like $100. Like,
right.
when you add tax, it's $100 to buy it.
Cass, not everybody has a Red Hood that's going to gift you a game. Okay, let's not do this.
Oh nah.
Let's not do this.
I wish I had simps.
Shit, what of them supposed to be on? I don't know. Let me say. I know he's watching. Reddit, pull up. I know you're in there. He's quick to buy.
Did you guys see? I don't know if this actually like is across the board, but Dead Island 2, like the price actually increased. Did you guys?
By how much did they say?
It was I think I was looking at the Canadian price. I'm not sure if it happened like internationally or whatever, but or like in US or in other countries. But I think it was like $89 to pre-order, and then at launch it launched at 98.
Oh wow.
$98 plus tax.
CD Key sells. Oh god, I'm sorry.
Let me just see. I think it might have just actually been the PlayStation Store. Because I remember I was checking like Walmart and Best Buy and all that, and they still had it for $90, and it was just the PlayStation Store like jacked it up to. I think actually even the Xbox Store too. I looked there and I saw, I think it was like $98 there as well. That was a weird one. Like I don't know. Like 2 days before launch, you jack up the price or something. Like I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, they do sell console keys on CD keys. The thing is, though, I don't think it's for every release, right? It's kind of like a few.
It's
like
very inconsistent. Yeah. It's not that many. It's very small in scale in comparison to PC.
So if you're expecting you might see, if you're lucky, I don't know, if you're trying to go there, maybe you'll get some for Jedi Survivor, but I doubt it. I doubt you'll get that. Again, it's far in between. Like, I remember that was the spot everybody went to, especially with the, in the midst of the, what's that game that came out? Cyberpunk debacle. Nobody wanted to pay full price for that. They were trying to get even cheaper. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, hey, garbage releases are indicative of saying F it and doing whatever you have to do to pay what you think said game is worth. Or not pay for it if you think it's worthless.
Let's say, if we're talking about PC, they don't think, they don't see the value in it, they're going to do what's called the Jack Sparrow method. I'm just going to say that. The chat, there you go. ARG in the chat.
It's a form of protest. That's what is great about PC. You can protest.
Yeah, the Jack Sparrow method always works in their favor in that. And it's... They never had no return, or never had any complaints. I don't know though. That's wild. Want to go a little further?
It is unfortunate. I just hope that PC will. I mean, PlayStation will try to compete with Xbox and PC wise, because they aren't really doing a good job of that. They're kind of been shitting the bed with The Last of Us PC port just being complete ass. At launch, and now price increases for their games. I mean, not good looks there.
Yep.
I just like randomly stumbled upon another reason why, like, for this conversation. So I just found this out because I'm getting Dead Island on my console, but it's actually not available on Steam.
Wait, what?
No, it's on Epic Game Store.
It's
that.
There you go. That's the reason to buy a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox. Like this is certainly not the only game. Like there's other games that have like one. I would like me. I have a Steam Deck and I've got a gaming PC. I would never buy the game on the Epic Game Store. Like, I always just wait for it to come on Steam.
You can just go to like CD Keys, Green Man Gaming, Pirate Bay.
Yo,
okay, I don't do that shit.
why would you stealth drop the name? What is wrong with you? She gonna stealth drop the.
You don't have to buy it on Epic, bro. If you don't really want to. That's the great thing about PC gaming.
For the,
I guess,
for the record, people, she just did that. Okay, she. Oh Lord, I can't. This one. Well, that's it's funny you said that because the whole thing going on with Nintendo. I don't know if y'all remember the dude, that guy that got sued.
Dude, I didn't want. Yeah, that guy's.
His life is done
for life.
Yeah, his life's done.
Dude, I hate talking about like piracy and all this stuff because I'm totally like against that. I don't do it. I did it back in like I don't know 20 years ago, back when Napster came out, and I was downloading MP3s and all that. And like,
you admitted to doing it. I've never done it in my life. I don't know. I just heard things. That's it.
But that dude, man, that guy that Nintendo is like crazy, man, because they're all about making the statement, right? They probably like don't really want to ruin this guy's life, but they want it.
They do.
Well, they want to do it more to like deter other folks. Like, you would be crazy to try to. And
in doing so, they're ruining his life.
Right?
They want to ruin his life to make an example of him.
Oh yeah.
That's really what it boils down to. I mean, Nintendo is a scumbag fucking company, especially when it comes to game preservation. They're very scummy on that front.
No solution.
I agree, but I mean, they got their reasons for it, and that's just because Nintendo fans will buy anything, and
because they have money, and with that, they want complete total power. It's trying to have some sort of, total control over what.
It's their content though, so.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily agree, but I'm saying from a business perspective, like I totally get why Nintendo does that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if they would simply sell, particularly like their older titles and have them available for purchase, I feel like a lot of situational things would be alleviated. Like, why can we simply not just buy Earthbound? Why can we simply not just buy a lot of their old school games?
The reason for that, I imagine, is it just wouldn't like the effort's not worth the return.
But the effort is it. But the thing is, they're literally trying to stop people from playing
money.
games.
They don't care about preservation. They care about money.
But they're wasting money to literally go out here and try to deter people from playing their games.
They're what? They're wasting money
they're putting money into legality means to deter people from playing their games when they can just simply sell their fucking games and make money and make people happy.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, if I'm like a Nintendo bean counter and I've got like I could spend $20 million making this next game that's going to make me, it's going to sell 20 million copies and make me a boatload of money, or I could put that 20 million towards, a back compatibility program. Like that's not going to make nearly as much as the new game. It just makes sense. Like, so companies will put money.
Their money's hand over fist. They just have to make it accessible, which they choose not to.
But they still have limited resources. They have almost unlimited money based on that.
They have unlimited money to ruin people's lives just because they want to play their games that they don't sell themselves.
Hey man, you always got cardboard, Cass. Go play your cardboard.
Totally.
A big pass on that.
But they know Nintendo fans will spend the $10 a month.
I have to use their cardboard to fix my Joy-Con.
Oh no.
Or $5 a month or whatever for Nintendo Online.
God, that's fun.
And how many like I'm like to blame for this, but how many times have I seen people like tweet like, "Oh, this is like the 4th time I bought this Nintendo game," because Nintendo just like every platform they They tend to release some of their old games. We buy them all again. Like I bought I fell for the, what was it, the Super Mario, I forget the name of that package, the All-Star package or whatever, where they packaged their classic games, and I bought Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, I bought all that stuff again. That's like the
Yep.
third time I think I bought those games.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, you did do it, right? So there's a market for it.
Yeah, well, that's why they like don't just sell them for $10 or whatever. They wait for like anniversaries and they'll bundle it together, make us spend another $60 on these games, and or Nintendo Online, and they hook us for like $60 a year.
Yeah.
To play all
I
these
don't like.
games.
Well, that's not really selling people games. That's just offering a service in which they still retain and literally deter the purchase of games.
Totally.
So I haven't
Yeah,
offered.
I don't like that.
It's obvious that Nintendo out of the big three is the worst at preservation, and even the fact that their stores have not carried over. Like every console has its own store, and it closed. Like we just had the Wii shop closed down, and I think 3DS closed down, and hopefully now with Switch they finally have like a unified platform that, you know, hopefully their next console is going to use the Nintendo store that we have right now. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see, man. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed with Nintendo. I don't even know if you're gonna get that next Switch whatever next year Daytona. I don't know. I don't even know if that Pro.
Oh, I think it has to come out next year.
You think so? Because I don't even think
Switch
the
is
Pro...
like absolutely on the decline. Like sale, like it's still selling very well. It's still selling like, you know, double or triple Xbox and almost coming as close to PS5, but it's still like on the decline. So
What was the overall like hardware sales on that? Because I'm wondering if there's
for
like
Switch?
for Switch.
Oh, I don't know, 110.
Is it 110?
Trying to think.
Hardware
Or
sales.
100, no, sorry, 120, 20-ish.
Yeah, that sounds like more accurate, at least from most recent.
123,
Sales.
124
Yeah.
mil.
Because I'm wondering if they're trying to push it as far as they can so they can get up there to PS2.
I don't think they really care about that, but they of course they want to push it as much as they want, but I doubt it's possible. Well, I guess anything's possible, but it would be pretty astonishing if it actually beats the PS2.
Yeah,
like it's
Well, I think they're just waiting, you know, as long as they can to get out of the, you know, this hardware situation that we've been having the past couple of years. So, I mean, thankfully we're moving away from that and there's more availability for things because, I mean, look, when the next Nintendo, you know, console, handheld, whatever it happens to be comes out, it's going to be sold out instantaneously. So that's already a natural problem that they had well before the COVIDs. And obviously they don't want to add more problems, you know, to the situation like, you know, Xbox and PlayStation did, which led to gimped sales and potential, you know, moving forward to next gen because they wanted to, you know, drop consoles during the worst time to drop consoles. So
Okay.
hopefully we'll have a new Nintendo system next year and that Nintendo becomes more pro-consumer. I hope that all these companies become a little more pro-consumer than they have.
Yeah, I agree with Delta. I think Tears of the Kingdom probably is going to be a big factor, whether or not that console drops next year, to be honest. If it pushes them closer, like super close, they might prolong it. They might, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out soon. I would imagine like the Zelda effect is probably already have been happening.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like at launch it's something they're going to sell like, you know, 10 million units, and that people anticipating Zelda probably already have that new Zelda console pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Or have bought a Switch in the last few weeks, like in anticipation of the game coming out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what was it? Animal Crossing did like what 30 million in what?
Oh yeah, but that game was like, I still think the success of that is just because it came out just as the pandemic hit.
Okay, yeah, good point.
I mean,
literally
it
as soon
would've
as lockdown
sold-
began, we had Animal Crossing.
It would have sold a hell of a lot, but yeah, it's definitely it was the perfect storm for that game
yeah.
to make it like what the most sold game or like in top 2 or something.
Yeah, it still would have sold like, you know, 10 million or 15 million without the pandemic. But
Yeah.
the fact that like everybody was in their house and there was all these restrictions and all we had was our Switches and our, you know, our PS5s and our consoles and all that. Like That's why, man. Like that's why even like when you look at like Circana and MPD, like they're always talking about like pre-pandemic engagement versus now, because engagement, like the amount of people that were actually gaming, like dramatically went up, and then now it's kind of like leveling off again, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a monster. That's really what it boils down to. It would be the ideal send-off game for Switch, so that they can start off the next generation on a high with Tears of the Kingdom having sold. They'll probably make a next gen version of Tears of the Kingdom, which will be the true version of the game, likely.
Yeah.
So it'll be like basically the PC version of Tears of the Kingdom being ported to the Switch too.
Totally, yeah. I can definitely see that being a launch game.
Yeah,
because Nintendo's all about like deluxe now, right? All the Wii U games came back with deluxe versions, so they'll have like Tears of the Kingdom Deluxe that adds whatever, and
Yep.
60 frames per second and all that goodness.
Yep.
What was that breakdown? Because now that Sony announced they purchased was it Firewalk Studios. Another acquisition. Yeah, no real surprise. But
Kind of hard to get excited with that because it's like, I mean the team behind it seems great. It's like Bungie folks, and they're probably making a shooter type thing. But it's like it's hard to get excited because it's like they haven't made a game yet.
Yeah, that's the dilemma for a lot of these acquisitions, like Haven Studios.
Same with Haven. Yeah, I mean, like I'm excited. Like Jade Raymond's great, and I'm sure she's got a lot of great developers under her, and I'm sure it'll be a great game. But it's kind of hard to get excited.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything.
Yeah, if you haven't produced one game, I think the studio that I'm most interested in right now, and probably most concerned about with Sony is Media Molecule. I feel like that studio is like, I don't know, like something like all of their studio heads have left now.
No,
They're
so yeah,
all-
he left
all-
after
all
You'll
of
see
them-
their next game. You'll see their next game in maybe 10 years.
Yeah, they're super slow at making games, and I don't know. It's just such a weird situation because I think Dreams has huge potential. I certainly played with it for a couple of months, but I think like everybody else, I kind of dropped off after that, and it's almost like a shame. It's like
It's
I think
stupid
someone-
that it doesn't have a PC release. Absolutely dreadfully stupid, complete total failure.
totally,
on
and it doesn't even have a
PlayStation's part.
PS5 release. Like they didn't even bother to upgrade that game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It like I mean that was one of their best studios. That going back like because they back in like PS3 when they had Little Big Planet, right?
Yep.
Little Big Planet 1, 2, and 3. I think 1 was made by Sumo. I think maybe it was the third one that was Sumo. But regardless, like they made great games, and Tearaway was good. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I have no idea what if we even get a single PS5 game from Media Molecule this generation, I'd be shocked.
Nah, yeah, you're not
at
getting
this
that to PS6. There's not
They,
gonna do
they,
it.
it seems like they just decided recently that they're gonna can Dreams
Mhm.
and make a new IP.
I mean, to be
So-
fair, I think they pushed Dreams as far as they can actually push it. I don't think anybody's
No.
really on it as much. Were people still like on Dreams like the way that was?
Well,
It
has-
Dreams was
it
just limited
has
by the
its audience.
platform.
Yeah, it has
The
the audience.
reality
but-
is, the potential audience it could have had being on PC would have been. I think personally it would have outpaced the audience that it ever had on PlayStation 4.
yeah.
For sure. The limiting this to one platform is the biggest thing that killed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at things like Minecraft and Roblox, which also a lot like has a huge like creation suite with it, right? Why are those games so successful? It's because they're like almost everywhere. They're on Xbox, they're on PC, they're on PlayStation. It's like hundreds of millions of people have it. And then Dreams is like locked into this, admittedly like
Closed
smaller
box.
market. PlayStation's not small by any means, but like small compared to what it could have been.
Oh my God, you brought that up.
But I'm just shocked too because like I don't know why this wasn't ever a platform where you, because I don't think you can actually like export your games or anything. Like why could they not have made this a platform where you could just make your own games and sell it?
Yeah.
There could have been a whole ecosystem in the PlayStation Store of like dream made games.
I don't know. Do you think? I mean, personally, I mean, obviously, you know, they gave you developer tools to create everything, but I don't know. Maybe they just didn't think it all the way through as a way to do that. My impression for it was they were going to look to Dreams for just like, you know, like potential new IPs. Like remember how like a lot of people were remaking classic games in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Some people were making references to other characters. I mean, that's how I figured they were going to look at it, like to see what exactly does the community want. But they didn't do that. So I don't know.
Even from a marketing, like Dreams was just screwed from the beginning. Because do you actually remember when, like, if you would go back to the old PlayStation conferences, I think one time they might have showed Dreams, but then I think it was like the year before it got released, that press conference, they didn't even showcase Dream, and all they did is like in between their main games, they'd have like 30 seconds of like Dreams stuff that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was totally like an afterthought. It's like, here's Ghost of Tsushima. Look at this great game for 15 minutes. And then, it's like, commercial break. Here's 30 seconds of Dreams.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I think...
It's almost like PlayStation just does not even remotely give a fuck about Media Molecule. I mean, look at how they made a bomb-ass game for Vita. Didn't even promote or support Vita in any, like, respectable way at all. They port that game to PS4. Doesn't really get marketed very much. It's just a casual, just toss it on the platform and hope it sells release. Then Dreams, literally getting no support from PlayStation at all.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You play what was the thing I was about to say? Who created Astrobot? I thought Media was helping with that. I'm guessing.
No.
That's
it was Japan.
Sobi or something?
It was Japan's studio that made Astrobot.
Oh,
yeah.
I always get that mixed up. Then okay, so yeah.
Is there a new name? Asobi or something? Some of the devs.
Yeah.
It's Asobi.
Yeah, Japan studio like kind of like all folded into Asobi.
Yeah, I can see that. Don't really see this one thing. Okay. All right. I had the list of what exactly the studios were making at. I think Benji Sales put out on Twitter. I don't know where I do with the link, but
what
games
that
service
currently has it,
like a service, the games as a service list that he had that are confirmed
of Sony.
Yeah, that after this acquisition from Firewalk, because I think he said Firewalk's game is a games as a service. Also, he brought that's what I'm saying.
The list it has to just be like developers, because we don't know anything about any of their games. Like,
The
Last of Us, we know, okay, sure, yeah, there's going to be factions, and then like London Studio is making this kind of, what is it, like a futuristic fantasy online co-op multiplayer that's based in London.
Mm-hmm.
But all they showed was one teaser image.
Yeah,
that was it. Like we don't. There's a whole bunch of rumors out there. There's like, Twisted Metal is being made by, that's not Firewalk. They got way too many studios that start with Fire. Fire Sprite is supposed to be making that game.
What has Firewalk done, like, in terms of
nothing?
Their catalog?
It's only, I think the studio got formed 5 years ago, but they haven't released a single game yet.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's up in the air with Firewalk.
Wait, this is news?
It's up in the air. Nobody knows.
What's up in the what are you saying is up in the air?
No, I'm saying it's up in the air what they make. Firewalk.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean like they got a lot of ex-Bungie folks, right? So
yeah.
You have to imagine it's like, a fantasy shooter type thing, right? Or just like Deviation Games, because Deviation Games is like mostly ex-Call of Duty folks.
Must say, yeah. From what the vibe I was getting from Deviation Games, they're going for a more grounded, like military type of shooter of game. That's probably what I think, because it makes sense for them to stick to their roots and not leave that, in a sense. Make their quote unquote. I mean, y'all heard this term so many times, like, make your Call of Duty killer, but I mean, that's that's not possible. But still, you make your own
Yeah.
equivalent of Call of Duty or whatever the case may be. SOCOM again is another thing that everybody wants. Everybody's been hoping for. So I don't know if we'll see it this early or not. But again, it's up there.
I think it'll be new IPs, man. Like they're not going to give like Deviation Games SOCOM or like these new studios will not be leveraging an existing
Agreed.
IP. I don't think so. I don't know who would actually be doing SOCOM if that like Guerrilla maybe, but I'm sure they'd probably rather do Killzone if they had to do a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they even do. I think they're all in on like there's rumors of them making that Horizon. There's even like leaked video of the Horizon multiplayer game.
Yeah, so I mean I don't know, it's that, but what up, Corbin? But trying to think here.
I don't know, man. They just better have a plan because Sony has like have they ever had like a highly successful online as a service game? Like real, I'm talking about really successful. They had like Wipeout that had a decent
Wipeout did
audience, and
okay, yeah.
SOCOM.
That's not a service game, no. That's just a multiplayer game, right?
It's just yeah. That's pretty much it's online multiplayer, but yeah.
Yeah, because I don't
know. Like
Because
they had like
PS4
Destruction
was
All-Stars.
PS4 was my console last gen, and asked for multiplayer. No, take single player. The same fucking style of game over and over and over again. And now they're just like, we've heard your calls for multiplayer. Now we're gonna give you live service, motherfuckers. Have fun. It's just like, okay, thanks for
It's gonna be
ignoring.
a brutal next couple of years, I think, because like Sony's making 10 live service games. If 2 of them stick, I'd be surprised. Which,
yeah, I don't think
I could see 7 or 8 of them dying.
Yeah, I don't.
Unfortunately,
see,
there's
more
just not a
than
market.
likely.
Yeah,
I mean, they're literally going to desperately shit sling live service game after live service game out there. Unfortunately, it's going to be a waste of a lot of people's money just for it to end up dying. And I don't know. This is the company that everyone's saying has this in the bag.
and
No, I don't.
They're good
Even
at this.
even Microsoft doesn't know how to do live service aside from Sea of Thieves.
I say yeah.
What other live
agree.
service games?
And why
They
is it
used to
that
be a lot better
Sony
at
can't
it.
compete with them?
Even Gears
I don't-
is nowhere near what that was live service. But has anyone actually played Gears in a couple of years? I don't see anybody
Yeah.
tweeting about it.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
not
any
like
buzz about
it's
it.
not like Xbox is good at it either, but somehow they're better at it than Sony.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I don't know. Look at that
But
Halo
even
roadmap.
the companies that are good at it, they have
A
one
game is better than no
you-
game.
Yeah.
That's why this Firewalk, we'll see, but I got a feeling if it is a shooter, that game might be screwed because what could they do with shooters? They've already got Destiny,
Mhm.
which has the sci-fi fantasy shooter angle. You've got Deviation that's going to have the more grounded World War II type shooter game, and then what else is there? Fantasy shooter? I don't know. I guess that a Borderlands type. Maybe if they do that.
Unless they're giving what was it? That studio that did Demon Souls remake, was it Bluepoint? Unless they're giving Bluepoint the go ahead to remake something like SOCOM, I don't know. And with Bungie's overseeing, I don't know.
Don't do it.
I don't know.
Do not do it.
personally.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know.
I don't
They
think they're.
they do not dabble in any of that. Let them stick to single player remakes where they specialize in. That's the point of having Bluepoint. That's what they're great
Yeah.
at. Do not make them don't make them pull do stupid things like Crystal Dynamics doing Marvel's Avengers. That was a fucking joke of a game, and look at how that turned out.
Yeah.
Don't put your teams that don't understand live service to dabble in live service. It doesn't work. It's already even companies that are great are great at making multiplayer games. Even they fall at chasing the live service. So just actually have teams that are properly capable of handling such a task, because that, in a fickle industry at which your studio can end up getting shut down tomorrow over the most minute of things, literally destroying jobs and ruining a great studio such as Bluepoint that's very capable of making some of the best remakes out there, when there's so much that people want, like a Metal Gear Solid remake, like, what is it, Legend of Dragoon remake. Like, there's so many things that people want, and so many games that do actually warrant a remake. Just let them stick to what they're good at.
Oh, we still haven't gotten Bloodborne remake, guys, in the chat. So I haven't gotten that. The game is stuck at 30 on PS4. It's missed opportunity.
Why does everyone want a remake of Bloodborne? Just
fucking put
a just put a remaster of it out there. I'm talking about Legend of Dragoon. Things that I want to play and never got to experience. Like,
it's just,
why are we doing remakes of last gen games? Like, that's such a joke to me already.
To me, it's just because of Demon Souls. Like, Demon Souls looks so good. It's still like one of the best
PS3 game. PS3.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But I
justify that.
I actually just went back and I replayed Bloodborne last year, and quite honestly, like, if I compare that to Demon Souls, it doesn't look anywhere near as good. It still looks great, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good.
We're talking about games we literally played like a handful of years ago. I'm talking about remaking games I never got to play because either I was like not born yet, or I was so tiny I couldn't even read. Like, that's literally the type of games that I want to see remakes for. Like games that actually warrant the remake. Like remaking fucking Horizon Zero Dawn with Aloy's fucking plank, no like personality, stupid ass. Remaking Bloodborne, a game that you could literally play on your PS5 right now, like that actually, came out a handful of years ago. Like, this is stupid. Like, can we get remakes of games that we thought we would never see again? Chrono Cross. I don't know, anything that actually warrants a remake.
I'm getting schooled in the chat here. So yeah, I somebody said GT7 is a great example of a live service, and I actually think, although I guess they have like annual versions of it, but MLB The Show would be.
That's true.
Those GT7 for sure is definitely a success for live services. But yeah, I don't know. Sony's got to tick off all the different genres, I guess, right? Because they can't, if they're gonna have so many live services games, like they can't start like, they don't want to have like 2 fantasy shooters. It's already weird because like London Studio apparently is making a fantasy shooter, right? But like, you already have Destiny. Like, what? Do we really
too much faith in this industry. They will. Like, the fact is, the way the market is today, unfortunately, we're going to have a bunch of the games that just literally copy what is deemed successful in modern day. To expect anything more is like, it's like praying and hoping that your prayers are answered. So good luck with that. Expect the mass majority of these games to just be the same thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully, and they depend on marketing. They depend on marketing to get it off the ground. That's just what to expect.
Like the problem I see with live services is not like, it doesn't actually even matter if your game is good or even great, because like, as examples, like I played let's see, like Multiverses, right? And I played Fall Guys as like 2 examples. I thought both were great. I thought they were fun. I had a lot of enjoyment. But after like a month or 2, it just came down to, and I think everyone has the same decision. It's like, I only have a limited amount of time, right? And should I go back to like, playing Apex Legends or Call of Duty or whatever, like whatever your jam is for live services, or should I continue with this? And it seems like, whenever even like Among Us is another good example. When I look at the Steam charts and I see like Among Us was 150,000 concurrents like every day for like months and months when all the streamers were playing it, and then they stopped, and like you go on now and like you barely even see it in the top 100.
Yeah. Right.
You don't see Fall Guys in the like, it doesn't even matter if your game is great.
Yeah. It has to be in the trend.
It has to be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be so good that your game is better than Fortnite. Because if it's not better than Fortnite, then people are just going to play your game for a month and then go back to Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever game they're
a lot of good a lot of good games being mentioned in the chat. I don't think Parappa the Rapper will work in 2023 and onwards. I don't think that's a game they would even waste their time. The reason why I say that, what was that game that you know what I'm talking about, Hunter? That Skull game that got remade not too long ago for PlayStation? Medieval. If Medieval did extremely well, like crazy well, then I probably would say Parappa the Rapper would have came back. Probably, you know what I mean? That's a probably type of thing.
Yeah, I don't think that game sold all that well.
Yeah, I don't think
just
it's gonna
because
work.
they didn't make the sequel. Like there's Medieval 2, right? Like
Medieval 2.
The fact that they didn't remake Medieval 2 tells me the first one didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah, another game that would have been great, Def Jam. Yes, I would have loved to see that be a remake or a sequel, full-fledged sequel. But again, I think we're past that. They're not gonna do it at this point. Well past that. A lot of good games being mentioned. Chrono Trigger, I think Slomo said. I gotta go back on the chat. I think he said that. Yeah, it's another good one. I don't know, man.
I mean, PlayStation put out a remaster Parappa the Rapper, and I think I was one of the few people that bought it.
What's up? Would you?
Now I was saying that last gen PlayStation put out a remaster Parappa the Rapper, and I think I was one of the few people that bought it.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that's kind of missing from this like latest iteration of Sony is I do actually remember a lot of older games that got remasters. Right? They brought a bunch and put them on PSN. I think Loco Roco, like there's a few other ones that they put on there, which they're just like they're totally not doing now.
Yeah.
Not at all.
They don't. The thing is, so last gen they were really trying to just like sell you even further on the PS4 when they got like that crazy boost of momentum for the Xbox One. They were really trying to make the best impression. Now that they kind of got you in the bag and they know what people want to buy, they know what games they got to push. They're not really taking the crazy risk like they did back then. Like there was 5 times more risk, ironically, and it's not even debatable compared to this gen and last gen in the PS3 gen. Like, there was a lot of new IPs. There was a lot more stuff. Like, a lot of OG characters coming back. Like, if we had that type of focus, you probably would have seen, I don't know, Dead to Rights get remake. You know what I mean? You probably would have had another... Like, Sony probably would have taken a risk and probably got Max Payne. Like, a remake or something done for Max Payne for PS5. Or a sequel for something. I mean... But again, you're not getting that. Ape Escape, I don't think Ape Escape would even do anything for him. And the reason why I say that... Well,
Sony has zero interest in AA. They don't care.
That's true.
It's either big money or bust to them at this point. They'd rather use all those... Instead of actually bringing back, like, beloved, like, smaller titles that would do well, depending on how much money they put behind it. Really things that are respectable, not necessarily big bangers. They'd rather say, fuck you if you're excited, if you want that kind of stuff. And no, we're going to dump all this money into making live service games that are, most of them, the mass majority are going to flop. But we'd rather chase that because that's guaranteed money for the next 10 years. Because the whole thing with Destiny 10-year plan, that's what all of these companies want in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Dino Crisis, again, I kind of have my fingers crossed because Capcom, but the way Capcom's going, I have to wait for them to do the entire Resident Evil series, like all the previous ones from 6, all that. And then you get to that. So I don't know, man. Dino Crisis it's possible, it's possible, especially after we got that dinosaur game. Was it Extinction, something like that? That dropped not so long ago. It's like that dinosaur game. Not from them. It was a game.
The one that Capcom's working on.
It was one. It was another one that dropped not so long ago, right? It was.
The one that came on Game Pass.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Exoprimal. Exoprimal. Yeah, there you go. That
But that's the Capcom one.
Yeah. So.
But the one that dropped. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
It's possible.
So many Game Pass games like are a blur. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
it's possible. Because they're they clearly see potential in dinosaurs, but the question is, do they see it in horror? Like Dino Crisis was pure horror. I don't know if we're gonna get
Dude,
that.
but that's like the perfect thing, like perfect example of these live service games. Like we there's so many of them come out now we can't even remember the names.
Yep.
I remember like a couple months ago, I asked you guys, I'm like, oh, did you guys play that new Ghostbuster live service game that came out? And I remember going around the panel, everyone was like, what? Like what?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, wait, I think I remember hearing something. Like the game was already out for a month and a bit, but you guys had not even really heard about it.
Yeah. Time Splitters.
Like it's so bad, man. It's so bad. There's so many live service games. We can't keep track of them all.
I'm gonna be honest with you though.
Let's just keep
Sony
track
missing
of
a
games. Here's a great idea. Let's keep track of games that actually run well. The playing field, most things just get yeeted immediately this generation. Because most games aren't even well optimized. So I'd say we keep track of those games. I think that's important.
I would argue against that. We've had good performance for the most part.
The mass majority of gamers argue against that because they still cap for games that don't even fucking run.
Well, okay, that's a different story. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about what's his name as well?
A lot of games.
Yeah,
a lot.
It's a lot of games.
A lot of games and a lot of gamers.
Oh, that was the game. It was called Second Extinction. That's one that you were talking about. Yeah, it's so weird, man. Because like, I remember when I saw the trailer for that in Game Pass, I thought it looked kind of cool, and I like dinosaurs personally, and I was like, I'm gonna probably check it out. But actually, I never did check it out. And when did this game even come out? Like, I think it was last fall.
Yeah. Gotham Knights still hasn't been fixed. Yeah, true. Fix Mortal Shell.
I think it was in like, oh wait, no, game. Oh yeah, it was in early access. The game came out in early access last year. Oh no, it's been in early access since 2020. Okay. Oof. Anyways, I'm too busy. It looked cool, but I don't have time.
Oh shit!
I feel so bad for these devs, man. All these devs.
Slow mo, slow mo. That don't
well, they
count.
have good ideas, and they some of them make good games, but
it does count.
You know,
PC Master Race, boy.
Slow mo, quick with the 8. I was like, hey, it's fixed on PC. Come on, Gotham Knights. Get the hell out of here.
If you have a 4090, right?
You need a 4090 to run Gotham Knights?
I'm being probably.
I'm about to say, wait, what?
Sadly, it's probably the case. I wouldn't know because I don't buy garbage games.
Let's say, hold on, slow mo. What kind of GPU you rocking? I don't think you got a 40. Let me find out you got a 4090, and that's it. You know what? Never mind. I'm not even.
What was the point of that? Did he think he was going to?
Oh, that one. Oh, pause. Okay. What's going on here? Give me 1 second. Street Fighter 6 Showcase. I actually missed it, but I watched the replay. Looks good. Everybody hyped for Street Fighter? Hunter? Got no Cass getting it, but.
Oh yeah, I haven't even downloaded the demo yet, but yeah, no, I'm gonna download the demo tonight.
It was hilarious. Oh, I'm sorry, Hunter. Please continue.
Yeah, I'm not a huge, online competitive Street Fighter dude, but I like playing through the campaigns. I like, dabbling online and playing local with friends and all that. So, yeah, I'm in. I think I played Street Fighter 6 last year at TGS for like, I don't know, 40 minutes or whatever. It was good. It's really good. I think it was certainly better than the last one.
Yep. Okay.
Coming out, it's multi-platform this time, so multi-console this time versus last gen.
I won't buy Street Fighter 6 until Fei Long is present. That's my guy. That's my guy.
He's not coming back. I doubt he's coming back.
If he don't come back, then they don't get me. It's
they're
really that simple.
They'll be supporting this game for like 5 years. They're gonna have championship editions and all that stuff, right?
I mean, you might be able to.
So the longer you wait, the more money you save, because Capcom they're like blood letters of gaming. They'll literally squeeze every drop of blood out of your soul with the next Street Fighter 6 release. And I specifically say next Street Fighter 6 release because we're gonna have the Turbo, the Super, the Ultra Championship Edition. Like, be prepared, have fun, guys.
What,
I'll get the Fei Long edition.
I'm pretty sure you can. Can't you just create Fei Long in the game? Like, don't they have his moveset, something like that? They were showing off.
Bro, come on, man. Do you really gonna disrespect Fei Long, Bruce Lee, with the character creator where the characters look like that? No, I will. If anybody creates Fei Long in Street Fighter 6 with that character creator, I'm coming over to your house and I'm throwing your PS5 through your fucking TV.
Oh God, this one right here. You crazy? This one right here.
I literally have a big ass portrait of Bruce Lee sitting above my 65-inch TV. You think I'm gonna let people disrespect my mans like that? No, no.
I don't know, man. I might have to shred that little. Let me stop. This won't be the first time about people decaps. So now I'm good. Anyway, I
wonder how much they paid to get Lil Wayne to be on that live stream and literally say, "Hi, go play the beta, bye." Like, they must have paid a lot of money just to get Homeboy to say that. So I imagine there's going to be 10 different versions of Street Fighter 6 just
unless they're doing something like y'all remember when Call of Duty did that thing where you can buy announcers, like the little dudes who like call.
They're already doing that, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if he's gonna be part of that, like something like that for Street Fighter. Like he'll be the announcer. And they could do some wild stuff like that. I don't know. That's possible. But
they already they are pushing that. I don't know what person that's into fighting games actually really cares about that, because they have like 3 or 4 different announcers already, and all of my friends who are really into fighting games, more than I could ever be, they just want to turn all that shit off and just play the game. I will say that Street Fighter 6 looks like it appeals to like a lot of people in at least some way, shape, or form. Like my friends are super hyped for the game, and some of them actually do go to tournaments. Some of them play competitively online. And then, you have like this character creator system that really does appeal to the casual audience. So all around, and they have like easy modes or simple like ways to get you to learn the mechanics that seem pretty intricate, which is great for introducing a casual audience to possibly getting good scrubs. So all that stuff is really cool. I think that overall they're doing their part to get people to want to be excited for the game, and so it's cool. I think that this is going to be a huge seller. It looks like they definitely have their shit together, as opposed to the Street Fighter 5 launch. Street Fighter 5 was a disaster at launch. Was there day one, ground
missing
zero.
Features.
Missing everything. Missing characters. That roster was disgusting. Like, is terrible. So,
totally.
But that was Capcom at their absolute worst. Like, they were, if not for PlayStation, that game would have never came out. So, props to PlayStation on that front. But now we have a Capcom that definitely is stronger, definitely seems more prepared this time around, and their main game, Street Fighter 6, that's what's going to be going this whole generation pretty much, so prepare for that.
Yeah. It's going to be, you said Lil Wayne as a fighter in Street Fighter 6. I'm pretty sure you probably can create him. They probably got that as like some presets. Again, he got some part of the deal. It's something like that for the game. Have to be. But I don't know. Like, it looks good. I'm excited for it. I might actually get on that. I start streaming that. Tekken 8 is the other one that looked really, really good too. But I feel like Tekken 8's kind of getting a little overshadowed by Street Fighter in terms of press. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with
Tekken doesn't even have a release date yet.
We don't even know when it's coming out.
Yeah, because they just been dropping character trailers for the roster. So far the roster looks pretty damn good. We still got a lot more characters to go, so that's going to be interesting to see who else is making the roster. I don't know if they're going to do, because a lot of people complained about Akuma, so now they got all these super moves in Tekken 8. So I don't know I don't know if Akuma's making his return or not, but he might make his return. I don't know. A lot of people are worried about
Man,
that.
Akuma needs to take his ass back to Street Fighter where he belongs.
He's everywhere. He's literally everywhere. Shit, the next
I'm more
game people are hyped
concerned for
for
Mortal
is...
Kombat.
Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah.
I'm concerned for Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 11, I think it's a piece of shit Mortal Kombat game, especially if you're a fan of the lore, but you can't deny the sales. Obviously, they want to do better than, Mortal Kombat 11 sales, and it's all Street Fighter right now.
Yep.
And they claim that Mortal Kombat's coming out this year, and we know nothing. There was zero hype. Yeah. It's just them boasting about Mortal Kombat 11 was like their highest selling game. So I'm more concerned for Mortal Kombat 11. Tekken 8 is already proven when they're ready to go when they choose, and they're going to choose when they feel like it. And from what I've seen, everything looks good.
Don't they have they got like world tournaments stuff like that for Mortal Kombat, I guess. They have so you would think they announced something at those maybe, but there hasn't really been no buzz at all for Mortal Kombat. So I don't know.
Even I don't think they've even formally announced it. I think it was just like one of their in the investor meeting, like what?
Yeah, it's like
some like executive just happened to mention it was going to drop during this fiscal year, which I think probably would have been like the end of March next year.
Yeah,
probably it's going to drop like this fall, I guess.
Yeah, so
we have a big unveil at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, hopefully it's just as grotesque. I hope they don't tone stuff down. A lot of people, acting extra squeamish. I don't know. I'd be looking at YouTube.
If Mortal Kombat tones down in terms of violence, it's DOA.
Yeah,
that
especially I'm talking about
the franchise.
Yeah,
is literally.
Yeah, I don't think they would.
Yeah,
I mean, Mortal Kombat 11 wasn't toned down, and that one sold gangbusters, so they're probably going to want to try to repeat that.
Yeah. I will give them credit, though. They had some pretty cool crossovers. Like, I was not expecting to see Spawn in a Mortal Kombat game. That was really, really dope. And that actually gave me hope for a Spawn game, even though we're never going to get it. But that was actually a pretty dope thing that happened. But, yeah, that was cool. Damn. 1 second here. I had to turn my camera back on. So... But yeah,
I think your camera just got hit with a fatality.
It did actually.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, man, they had some pretty good. I think Joker also came out for that, and I think RoboCop as well, right?
Yep. Joker. Freddy Krueger was what was it 9? MK9 was Freddy Krueger?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that was pretty cool when he came.
Kratos as well in MK9.
The most OP character. Wait, was he exclusive to the PlayStation's roster at that time?
Yeah.
He was exclusive to the PlayStation roster. I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And Xbox didn't get anything exclusive to the roster, which I don't think so. That was wild. But no.
Well, I mean, realistically, there's a lot of companies that wouldn't necessarily want their poster child to get hit with a fatality. I mean, that's why Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, like that sucked because like they didn't want like their characters getting completely like just torched the way they should have in regards to the DC characters.
I actually thought they had potential back then. I thought it had potential. It was just the netcode was terrible on that game. It had potential. It was a cool concept.
Sucked. The mechanics were
you didn't like the mechanics of that? Playing as the Flash, beating the hell up everybody.
Oh, I mean, it's catchy, the fact that you could play as Mortal Kombat and DC characters, but it is a piece of shit fighting game fundamentally.
It was funny though. Like they have fatalities and they have heroic brutalities.
Right.
That was funny. That was absolutely funny. Yeah, like some actually doing fatalities, like Luther and I think Joker, because Joker was in there. So that was funny. But I'm trying to think else before I go to this next topic. Was there anything else news? I guess not for it. So I'll move on. So Horizon, Burning Shores is out. It's receiving a lot of positive praise from it. And of course, the internet being the internet. I know Hunter saw it. I know Cass saw it.
Somebody ruined. Well, a bunch of people ruined it for me.
Oh, dude,
People are just tweeting out
the
like
whole scene.
game content.
Yeah, and so basically, okay, at the end of the game, at the end of the DLC, guys, you have a choice. I'll just say it like that. You have a choice, and it's gonna lead to a certain scene. And this particular scene has had everybody going crazy over it. Some were like, "Hey, it's just fine. It's a video game." You had others who were just flat out saying, "Oh, this is The Last of Us 2 all over again," losing their mind. I'm like, "See, this is why The Last of Us 2 was destroyed." I'm like, no. Last of Us 2 was hurt because of the actual full-fledged script leaks, actual scenes, actual dialogue, the works. That was the biggest leak in probably the longest
Well, that
time.
and the fact that it was literally made specifically to be divisive. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a different thing. When it comes to Horizon, though, a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people are saying, like, they fixed the problem with Aloy after this whole thing happened. They're, like, saying that she now's got, like, a little personality, people are saying.
She's a good character now, just because
Apparently people are saying this. I don't know.
she kisses a girl. Oh, that's... Wow.
I don't
Is that
know.
the intellectual conversation we're having now?
I don't know what's going on, but hey, listen, that's how people are.
My
feeling.
question, look, I guess someone had to love Aloy, right? I mean, I'm glad that we can confirm that at least someone loves Aloy.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? If you
Over.
played Forbidden West, Hunter, you know what I'm talking about, that king, that little leader of the clan or whatever. He, like, there's a dialogue for him because he asked her to marry him.
Oh yeah. Right,
Yeah. But it feels so forced.
But she never like, and then there was even she had a somewhat love interest in the base game, but she never like did anything.
Yeah, never established anything.
It was just like friendly flirting, and that was it. Like nothing ever became of it, and it was mostly I think the other character flirting with her. I think Aloy didn't do anything back.
Yep. So I don't know. That was I don't know. A lot of their stuff just didn't make.
I just hope. I mean, I'm playing it now, and I'm not like super far into it, but I hope they improve her character because we've talked about this like many times.
Yeah.
On the podcast. I totally don't understand how anybody could be into Aloy as a character. She's totally bland, very, 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 very uninteresting.
It's like you
I
got
could care
this.
less.
You got the perfect setting. You know what I mean? You got the perfect premise. It's just your main character. It's not something.
It's not even just her though.
To be fair, the side characters, at least in Zero Dawn, were not even remotely interesting to me either.
Yeah, totally. Like in Forbidden West, like the only character that really does anything for me is Silence.
Yeah.
Like he was interesting. I thought his motivations were kind of cool. Like kind of interested in him. Everyone else, it's just they're so flat. Like they're just not very good at writing characters. But for me, I play the Guerrilla games just for the graphics and the gameplay.
Yeah.
Which are top notch, like industry leading graphics, and I like some people don't like the gameplay of the Horizon series, but I think it's pretty awesome. Like hacking the dinosaurs is fun, and finding them all and trying to. There's all different like elemental variations of the dinosaurs and all that.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Rockbreaker's still probably one of the best designs of all time. So dope.
Yeah.
Let me read these super chats here. Hold on here. Got a few. Shout out to Hustle and Motivate, member for 14 months. We got another channel membership from Severin Evans, member for 11 months. Appreciate you. He says, yeah, Redfall 30 FPS is an L. I see no point in dragging out the negativity, though, if it doesn't solve anything. People want you to keep dragging this out, but it can only go so far in reality. Very true. Very, very true. John the Don, another member. He's been a member for 14 months. Shout out to you. Evans dropped a $5 super chat. He says, I game mostly on PC myself. I have a PS5, though. I was excited for Burning Shores, but this virtue signaling ruined it for me, though. So, yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, to me, the fact that she kissed a girl, it's a nothing burger. It's meaningless in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't address Aloy being a better character in any way, shape, or form. She just simply kissed a character that visually looks more interesting to me. Why do I have to play as a tomato-faced white bitch Aloy? I'd rather play as the character that she kissed. That looks way more interesting to me. She's far more interesting to me as a character. So that's how I feel about that. She's gay, whatever. I mean, there are constantly things.
To me, it's like it's about the like. I don't know if you guys played Tachia.
Yeah, Chia.
You guys have a chance to play.
I haven't played it, but that's another one. Yeah.
I don't. I guess should I talk about it because like I don't want to spoil things for that game.
I mean, you
But
can.
anyway, all I'll say is like I don't really mind like that she's kissing somebody. I don't mind who she's kissing. I don't, doesn't bother me at all. But the thing that I need as a player is like it just has to make sense, right? Like because I don't want to, again, I won't want to do spoils, but like sometimes I play games where like it comes out of left field.
Yeah.
Right? Where
No
you're just
setup.
like,
Yeah, it just happens.
like no setup, and you're like, what? Like, what is like?
No.
The person didn't even like hint that they liked the other person. Like, why? Why are you guys kissing?
I support gingers that actually have good character development. Gingers that are actually not a waste of my fucking time. Gingers that have some of the greatest storytelling in all of entertainment. Yes, we support real gingers here, not Aloy. She's crap. So.
Go watch your Apocalypse.
I'm a bit worried about.
That's not Jean Grey. But then again, Jean Grey had a very, very funny segment in that movie. The movie's shit, but her making Professor Xavier do stairs is fucking hilarious. More hilarious than anything Aloy could possibly do. So.
Yeah, I just kind of wish that again, I'm not at the point where like I'm still pretty early in Burning Shores, so I don't really know the whole setup for it. But I kind of wish that this character would have been introduced in the base game.
Yeah.
And then, because like, for all I know, it's gonna be like perfectly natural. And it's gonna be like a great moment. But my concern is like it's in a DLC, which I think is only like 6 or 8 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, like there can't be a whole lot of story development. So I don't know, like unless every scene is like her and Aloy, where I get like 6 or 7 hours to like get to know this other girl and all this stuff, like unless it's that if it's something different where it's like you hardly interact with her, then like out of nowhere she just leans in for a kiss, I'll be like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
I want some build up to my romance. Like that's why I wish it was in the base game.
Like to me it just sounds like
Sorry,
no, I'm sorry, Hunter, please continue.
I was just gonna say like there is actually there is a woman that flirts with Aloy in the base game.
There is, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it should have been her. Like that would have been, because that would have been like, okay, Aloy's been she's been thinking about it for a while, and she's known this person for more than, because I'm like, I got a feeling she probably knows this other woman for like a day.
Yeah, it like, feels like it. I don't know. Let's do some time.
Doesn't it kind of just come off as insulting to
like
women
2
though?
days?
Like,
is it? They better in Burning Shores like force me to sleep like 7 times so that it's been at least a week that she's known this other woman. Because I don't know, that's the kind of stuff where I'm just like, for any romance, like, come on.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
I don't know, man. These days, bro, the things that fly are very questionable.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'm just too old.
Am I getting those Wonder Woman? You getting those Wonder Woman? What was it, 1885 vibes? Right? I don't know.
Maybe. Yo, Hunter makes me want to play as this other character even more, because it just says to me that this chick just does whatever the fuck she wants to do, quite literally. So way more interesting of a character than Aloy.
Dude, I think I don't know if you guys saw, but I just randomly saw the voice actor in my Twitter feed, and for some reason her tweets like now appear in my feed all the time. But she actually seems like generally like really cool. Like she seems like a funny person and like really cool. And like the thing that I couldn't believe is, I don't know if you guys saw, but she actually posted like some fanboy tweet attacking Xbox fans.
Oh,
She was
Who
it was
is
something.
this? I'm sorry. Who is that?
Oh, I don't know. I forget her name, but I can find it. But she
You said she's a
she-
voice
she
actress
ba-
for who?
She
Aloy?
basically, well, she tweeted a picture of herself in the game.
Oh,
and
so
then
she plays the girl. She plays the girl that actually.
Yeah, she plays. She
yeah.
plays
Oh.
Aloy's love interest. She
Okay.
posted a picture of herself in the game, and then she said, like, she wrote words on the image, something along the lines of like, if you're an Xbox fan and want to play this game, then get a PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's something along those lines of like, if you're an Xbox fan, just get a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
what is
told her,
she only
I
has like
replied to
2,000
that.
followers. Does she want to like destroy her online rep before she even gets online? Like,
No, I told her flat out. I messaged her because I did see that. I said, "Yo, you provoking the hornet's nest. Like, what's going on here?" Like, she just immediately started provoking the hornet's nest. I mean, usually, times like this, you just celebrate. You share the little screenshot. The reason why I say, a lot of people might see it as funny, but let's look back just not too long ago. Like, it was like a couple of days ago. Y'all remember what happened with the voice actor who plays Ada Wong in RE4 remake?
oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, why are you poking the hornet's nest for sure? Yeah, exactly. Because of like, she got harassed off of Twitter.
Bro, she
Right?
left.
Which-
I think she's off of Twitter. She's deleted
She's
all
off
her
Instagram.
pictures on Instagram. Like, it was wild. People were like, "Oh, you're a disgrace. You destroyed Ada Wong." And I'm like, "Yo, what is going on here? Like, you're this."
Well,
you know,
that's one of the reasons why, like, I don't retweet or like engage any of that stuff anymore. Like a couple of years ago, like sure, I would, if there like maybe like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I would have thought that was funny and maybe even retweeted it because I thought it was just a funny tweet. But like I don't do any of that now because like people are just such a-holes. Like
Oh,
that's
they're quick.
like they're just like people are terrible. Like I don't know why she would poke the beast. Like
I mean, real talk. Gaming has always been toxic. This is nothing new. Like the fact that people think that gaming was ever like, squeaky clean, and this push to try and make gaming squeaky clean, it's not a realistic expectation. There's always going to be dumb stuff, and that's just society, and that's gaming as a whole. Like I remember, what toughened me up as a 14-year-old girl was being in Call of Duty, Modern Warfare lobbies, arguing with grown-ass men. I choose to engage, and I guess what? I'm a stronger person because of it. It is what it is. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it just comes with the territory. You put
Totally.
yourself out there, and guess what? It's never going to be all fair. But guess what? You got to be prepared for the worst. That's just what it comes with it. Now, in regards to just
Hey, guys.
legitimate harassment, that's, obviously
900
uncalled for.
900 matches of quick scoping people, and you get
for sure.
I guess.
But I still think like at least like maybe back in like the PS3 like 360 era, at least this was my experience when I was on Twitter and well mainly Twitter, but the internet in general. Like it just wasn't like people are like more emboldened these days. Like I don't remember like just these days if I tweet something and it goes like mini viral, I'll get like 20 comments of like, oh, you Sony shill, you D-sucker, like you sleeping with Jim Ryan. Like I'll just get like nonstop like, what's wrong with you people responses, right? But I like going back like 10 years ago, it wasn't, I never got stuff like that, even tweets that trended. Like people were like at least a little bit more civil. Maybe it was like more to like Xbox Live and like kind of like off the mainstream,
yeah.
right? But these days it's like no, it's like you tweet something people don't like and like the next day people are finding your email and sending you death threats.
Yeah.
No,
it's all-
that's it always it has the potential to go overboard. But look, Twitter's Twitter. If I don't want to engage, I just go into my Discord where I have people that are pretty damn chill. That's why, you do have to gatekeep your own spaces. That's what's important. And just know if you do put yourself out there, that's just kind of going to happen. I mean, there's some people that said some pretty messed up shit in the chat to me just now. I thought it was funny, so whatever.
Totally. Well, like, totally, like, what a sad way that we have to be, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You just have to,
It just comes with the territory,
have to let it, like,
man.
slide off your back, and...
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, like I said, I get these, like, nasty comments every day, like, literally every day.
I mean, we come from a time where things are better than ever before. I mean, like, you have a disagreement with someone back in, like, the 1800s. You're going outside doing 10 paces and shooting each other.
Like, you can even check my tweet. I just literally tweeted the console sales for last month, right? It was like, 2 million for PlayStation, 1.1 for Switch, and like 550 for Xbox, and I literally just tweeted that out and had a link to the article that I saw the data with, and like nasty ass comments in the tweet, like just the nastiest people, like saying all these like like why are you sleeping with Sony? Why are you in bed with Sony? Like, what are you talking about? I tweeted sales data.
Yeah.
Sales data.
That's all it be. That's it.
Like you're only mad because your
attention.
preferred console it was third place. Like you got to take it out on me. Like it's just funny, man. Like you just have to just ignore that stuff and mute it and block if needed, but like just ignore it.
Dude, I'm quick. I just hit block. Move on. People are like, block and you're giving them everything they want. Not really. Once I hit block, the shit's done.
Totally.
Yeah,
even
there's
just like annoying
of
people. Like,
I mean, the reality is, like, the longer we're on these, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, we're gonna get more attention, and a lot of us do seek that out naturally. As someone that is a growing content creator, I seek out attention, and a lot of that isn't, thankfully, it's pretty damn good. I get a lot of, positive feedback, people that actually like my opinions, even if they don't. There's people out there that don't even necessarily agree with things that I have to say, but they find me entertaining. They value my opinion in some way, shape, or form, and a lot of it's positive. You do get, like, the stupid comments, the rude comments. Thankfully, for me, they're minute in scale, but that just comes with the territory of putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, shout out to Perfect Image. I actually missed this. $5 super chat. My bad, Perfect Image. She says, I don't know if anyone is a computer science. I guess trying to say computer science major. Can someone explain why PS5 architecture and Xbox? Because it seems devs have problems. Xbox build. Please help. So I'm pretty sure you have seen multiple videos. A lot of people saying the tools. They don't got the tools, some stuff like that. To put it short, PS5 is just more fine-tuned for devs. It's basically what you saw with the PS4 deep dive on steroids this time around with PS5. That's what it is. And they put more of a heavy emphasis on SSDs and everything, nature and speed. That's pretty much it. It's basically a better APU and everything. It's more fine-tuned for devs. Devs have more quicker access to all the bells and whistles. So there you go. That's why things are more simpler, and that's why you see devs having less issues with the console. That's what I used to see it. Problem is, though, well, not really a problem, but if you want power, and this is where it's kind of funny. On paper, Series X is more powerful than PS5. Has a stronger GPU and CPU, and I don't know the way they did theirs. So there's that.
Totally, and I think it also comes down to the fact too that for the vast majority of games, except for games that would have marketing rights with Xbox, but I think the vast majority of multi-platform games have PlayStation as the lead platform.
Yep.
Like they always pick the lead platform and it, like, base the other versions off of that platform, and it's like, we see it all the time in the news, right?
Oh, yeah, it was
virtually any game that comes out, it's like, you know, it'll sell if it's like, you know, if it's Xbox PC, it'll sell 70% on PlayStation, 30% on Xbox. You see that like,
Yep.
you know, all the time. Which, you know, to me, if I'm a developer, I'm clearly going to have the PlayStation version as the lead version
Yep.
that I'm working on, which means that more attention and effort get put towards that, more resources get thrown on that.
Yeah, and then we see the diminishing returns based on the hardware do parity. Like we saw that with PS3 and 360. Like remember how it was seamless for them in a sense for 360 games to get ported versus PS3 games where they had to work with this
totally.
alien tech.
And also the Series S too. Like the I'm not a dev, and I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I'm talking up my ass half the time. But like we just know from like, you know, hearing dev comments that Series S is a pain. And if I'm making a game that's on PlayStation and on Xbox, the PlayStation version, I can make that for one platform that's very powerful, the PS5. On Xbox, I've got to you always have to make the game down to the lowest common denominator, right? Which is the Series S. So, you know, you start with that and sort of like, you know, build your way up to the Series X version. Which means, you know, that they're probably giving more effort for the Series S version because they just need to, like that. Like Microsoft mandates that it has to run on that console.
Yeah.
Right, and it has as far as I know, it has to have feature parity of you can't like, you know, you can't have co-op on the X version and don't have co-op on the S version. You got to have it for both.
That really screwed them up because they Sony did the same approach with 2 SKUs, but it was still the same internal. There was no big hardware differential, and that's they screwed up big time.
The specs are the exact same. It's just the
price point.
It's just the drive, right?
No disk drive. Yeah. What, you know, it's funny because, you know, when that Pro or Slim model eventually does drop, do you expect 2 SKUs? Ask yourself that, Hunter. Do you expect 2 SKUs?
When
the
PS5 Pro,
the Pro and the Slim models, do you expect 2 SKUs for each?
Well, no. It's gonna be one game, but that's gonna be like, you know, dramatically more complicated for developers then.
Yeah.
Because each like even last gen when they had, you know, the PS5 or PS4 Pro, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox One X, they essentially had to make 4 versions of their games.
Yeah.
Like anytime, like the on Xbox is going to be like massively complicated because now once you have, you know, the Xbox, you know, the Xbox Pro or whatever they're going to call this, then you're going to have like, you know, the high end, and then you're going to have the mid, which is going to be Xbox Series X at that point, and then you're going to have the low, which is the S. Like they're going to it's going to be like massively complicated.
Yeah.
Because the developers always want to tap into more power, right? Like more power always is better for them, and it's like they're gonna want to make their games for the Xbox Series X Pro.
Yeah.
But then they got to scale it all the way down to the S.
Yeah, like I didn't believe that at first until if I go back to the PS4 reveal. Remember I forgot who it was, but he was debuting Diablo 3. Remember that? He said, "Yo, PS4 is looking killer. It's super strong." And then, not even a month after that event, he flat out said that we need more power. We want more power. This thing's maxed out.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So that's true though. Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, I don't know. Like at this point, I think last gen I actually liked when they had the mid-gen refresh. I think I'm kind of at the point now where it's like
you don't need it.
I think they probably will. Like the ball was already in motion. I think they're obviously going to have a mid-gen refresh, but I don't think I even really care about it.
Yeah.
Because I think like I still don't even feel like this gen has kicked off. Like it just hasn't. Literally, we're still playing cross-gen. Like it.
Yeah.
You know, we got Horizon, the new DLC that's PS5 only. So finally, like, but I can imagine Spider-Man 2 is going to be cross-gen.
Yep.
I'd be shocked if it's not on PS4. Like,
Yeah, I've been
dude,
going.
it's-
I've
we're
been
gonna
going
be 4
back
years
and
into this
forth.
gen before we finally get
Yeah,
native games.
I've been back and forth with the chat about that. You know, they did say PS5 only in the chat. You know, they remind me all the time. The Big Lot, they said PS5 only for Spider-Man 2.
They said that for God of War.
They also said that for, if I remember correctly, Miles Morales. Remember
I think
that?
so, yeah.
Miles Morales, and that was
Spot-
Christian.
yeah.
So
Yeah, they always, yeah, that was like one thing I certainly didn't like about Sony marketing. It's like, you got to be, because it's clear what they did. They wanted the pre-orders on PS5. They wanted everyone to buy a PS5.
Yep.
They wanted the hype and the marketing buzz around PS5, and then kind of like, you know, a few months before launch, just kind of slide it in. I think it was the same thing with GT7.
Yep.
GT7 was the same thing. It was like, it was PS5, advertised as PS5, and then 6 months before it comes out, oh yeah, by the way, oh yeah, it's coming out on the PS4. Like, you haven't had the PS4 version in development for like 5 years.
Oh yeah. So I don't
We're
know.
not dumb.
Like, because Spider-Verse was it? I've had them, but it was the Spider-Verse movie that just came out, and again, what Tony Todd said, big, huge marketing set for September. I don't know, man. That's a lot of potential money on the table, man. That's why I say, like, Spider-Man is like one of those games, like that game that you want to get the most out of. Period. So I don't know.
Although,
I think that's gonna be it. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, you're right. You're kind of making me think now.
Because remember,
about whether, because like, the thing is that I hate to admit it as a Sony fan, but I think Spider-Man is their number one property now.
Yep.
Like,
it is. Yeah.
I just, in terms of like mainstream buzz and like, I don't know how many sales. It's over 20 million, I think, right? The original one is. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the best selling franchise that Sony has. It totally would not shock me. So maybe, like, it's even bigger than God of War as far as I can see. Like, the buzz of Spider-Man 2 is going to destroy God of War Ragnarok, even though that game had a lot of buzz and like, you know, dozens of awards and all that.
It's just in a different league. Like, Spider-Man, just that it has so much pull, that name by itself, and plus, you remember they had the No Way Home movie, which is many people are calling the best Spider-Man movie. On top of that, to push it.
Totally. And they got the new one coming out.
Yeah.
That you know, and they're already they're so clever, man.
So,
they're marketing the damn PS5 in their Spider-Man movies. I mean, at the end of the trailers, they have like PS5 commercials.
That too, but I don't know if you remember. It was in not Far From Home, but it was. Actually, no, it was Far From Home. You remember that bus they had, that custom bus they had in the UK?
Yeah.
It was in the movie.
But I could. Oh yeah. Oh okay. Wow.
Yeah, like on the bridge fight when he's like running like on the bridge going towards Mysterio, you can see it in the far back.
Oh really? I'll have to take a look.
It's like parts.
That's funny.
So
I could. I might actually take my comment back, because I could actually see them making Spider-Man exclusive. I know Sony is out for money, like, first of all, so it doesn't make sense financially to not put it on PS4. But I think actually Spider-Man is that game that will drive massive hardware sales.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like 5 million, 10, like I could literally see 5 to 10 million people buying a PlayStation, like a PS5, because of Spider-Man 2. It people are just are going to go nuts.
It just comes down to how they want to roll the dice. You know what I mean? Do they want to gamble on that, or do they want to flat out say, "Hey guys, here is it both. You know, the PS5 and 4 version, and you know, everybody can get it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can get into this, but." You know, and that's the only fear.
Surprised.
Yeah, the only fear I would have.
Surprised.
Oh yeah, the only fear I would have about it coming to PS4, as opposed to being PS5 only, it would feel more like in terms of the visual look, right? It wouldn't feel like it got that full. You know what I mean? Like, it got that full overhaul in terms of what we know they can push. Like, the last time we saw like a overhaul in a sense that looked pretty insane for Spider-Man was when we got when they redid Peter's face. You know, it's about they changed the actor for the face model.
Right, and the PS5 remastered version of it, right?
Yeah, that was about it. So I mean, it looked good. You know, you're right, it looked good. Was it necessary? No, it wasn't necessary, but it looked good though. But
Yeah, and I am kind of leaning more towards being exclusive too, because Sony is like Final Fantasy 16 is not cross-gen. Like maybe now it's Sony finally has like put the stake in the ground and is like we're PS5.
yeah, no, that's
They
true.
need to.
That
They
is true.
need to. It's like it's so disappointing how lackluster this generation has been so far. A lot of it, some of it, at least chunk goes into just the reality of the economic situation. The past few years, but it is on a part of the console manufacturers to push gaming forward, and they haven't done that. They've been, just about putting everything everywhere. And while I think that that's great for PC, dragging PS4 along when, we're dealing with like a tablet CPU on the PS4. Not cool, man. It's time. It's more than time. The great thing that I liked about PS4 Gen, specifically why I was, day one, is that games are exclusive to PS4. They dropped PS3 relatively quickly. It was really third party that had to get their ass in gear last generation. And now it's just like, in this weird way, PlayStation wants to be third party and just put everything everywhere, including really outdated hardware. So
yeah, that's true though.
I think like it's like that's pretty much been the same like every gen for first party.
Yeah.
Right? Like I know when Xbox 360 came out, Microsoft dropped the Xbox original like a rock. Like that was And then when Xbox One came out, they dropped 360. Like none of those games were cross-gen. Aside from I think Titanfall was cross-gen, right? Well, that was third party. But anyways, like it's always been like that. Like I've always looked to the first party studios to bring us into the new gen. Like Killzone on PS4
Shadowfall
was like Shadow, like that was amazing. Like graphically, that was when the next gen began.
And then we had
and
Watch
then you
Dogs.
had Infamous.
Yeah.
What's that?
Then we had Watch Dogs at the end because we had Infamous there, and Watch Dogs closed it. I think that particular show for them.
It was it's always been first party that's drove the gen, but this year like nobody, Microsoft and Sony, like at least finally Microsoft, it seems to have dropped the Xbox One, but even their hate knocking their games, but even like Redfall does not look like a Series X game. It looks like an Xbox One game.
Yeah.
Starfield, like, that game looks next gen.
Yeah, I agree. Let me see here. That's what I was.
Starfield looked like a PS3 game to me when they last showed it.
Well, Starfield for me was kind of like it depends. Like sometimes it looked beautiful, and then other times it was like what's going. Like when the combat began, and you saw the combat animations, I was like, oh god, this is like 360. Like what's going on?
So
But then they would like go outside and show you like a beautiful vista that looked 4K.
Yeah. Speaking of the vista, I don't know if y'all caught on to the little, like, how they do like those drone like shots in games now, where there's like the camera pans and goes. When the camera was panning out and they show like the NPCs walking, one of the NPCs' heads went from looking straight into like a full 360 around. It went straight, so you can actually see that. Like, dude did The Exorcist. It was like.
I mean, it's a throwback to New Vegas where, you start the game and the dude that nursed you back to health, his freaking head just goes in like a clock circle.
Wait, what?
New Vegas, when it launched, there was this glitch where the person that nurses you back to health in the beginning of the game, like, their head just literally turned. It was hilarious. Yes. Yes. It's throwback.
Yeah, that's up there with Unity. I remember in Unity where it was like you just saw teeth and eyes. I was like
it goes to show, man, no matter how broken and effed up like Bethesda's games are, they still sell hand over fist. So people sleeping on Starfield, I don't know what's up with y'all, but
I mean, you said Unrecord is the only game that looks legit next gen. There was a game that we were supposed to get, but it was removed from Steam. It was like a survival horror looking game. It looked like The Division, but it was zombies and stuff like that. I forgot what it
Yeah, I
was.
don't know,
Final
man, I
Fantasy
think-
16 looks like a truly next gen game.
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
There's a whole bunch like Horizon.
Yep.
Come on, how
Tekken
like
8.
I know it's cross gen, but like when you play Horizon on your PS5, like it looks next gen. Like
Yep.
it looks amazing, and it runs at 60 frames per second. Like
Yep. Everything
Ratchet
you
and
want.
Clank ripped apart. That
Yep.
looks
Demon Souls.
beautiful. Like
The last game I
that-
bought on PS5 day one.
Yeah.
In terms of Sony first party, Ratchet and
it's
Clank's
it's
awesome.
for sure like graphically next gen. Like that, you wouldn't have graphics like ripped apart on PS4. There's no way.
Demon Souls. You got
Demon Souls, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Even Returnal, I thought, like, not the graphics, but just the smoothness and like 60 frames per second. Like just, I don't think that like, especially with the amount of like bullets that you can shoot at and bullets that are on screen at any time, I don't think that would have been possible. I think Returnal is more of like technically it wouldn't have been possible, not graphically.
Yeah. He says
But
in
even
terms
like we even
of
saw like the PC specs for Returnal, right? You guys remember?
yeah.
You guys remember everyone complaining about like I don't know what was it, like 30 gigs or 32 gigabytes of RAM or whatever you needed for a Returnal on PC?
Yeah. It's that's usually never a good sign, man, when they want that stuff. But I mean,
But yeah, you
It looked good.
can count like the next gen looking games on one hand. It's that bad. You got Callisto Protocol, I think, which looks next gen as well. But like we're literally talking like maybe 5 games that look next gen, and we're like 3 years into the gen.
yeah. On record though, I mean, to be fair, no, on record does look like. Have y'all seen on record? Have y'all
Oh,
seen?
I looked.
Yeah,
at
I must say
It's
it looks
like-
really good though. I see where he's coming from in terms of photorealism. Absolutely, it's definitely in another tier by itself. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Not even going to
But
try.
I
to
don't know,
when you
man, I
walk
kinda-
up close to things on Unrecord, it's when you get close and you study it, it doesn't look that like visually impressive. You kind of see like the little imperfections, but I think the camera style really does lead to giving a realistic look to it.
Oh
just
yeah,
simply
they nailed
because
it. You actually feel
it
like you're
has-
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it
Really
really
nailed it.
does give you that feeling, and that's a part of I have
That-
to give a shout out to the devs for using that style to their advantage.
That's kind of scary though, low key. Like, well, how naturally they got this down to a T with this camera. It is kind
Yeah.
of scary, but
Yep.
Well,
I
that's the thing. Like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna remain like cautiously skeptical about that game because like it almost looks too good to be true. Even the reload animations are so realistic, right? Like I don't like aside from like literally motion capturing the reload animation, I don't know how they'd get it looking that good.
yeah.
And and it seems like it's a small studio. Like how would they? I'm sure they don't have budget to like go out there and do a lot of mocap and high performance studios.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
actually care. Look at Escape from Tarkov. How highly realistic those guns are. Literally, all the things that you could like want in terms of realism, they kind of do that and then go super overboard.
Yeah.
To the point where
Yeah.
it kind of annoys their players.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like that game seems like it's like years off.
Yeah.
People were asking like when's the like early access or when's the beta, and they just said basically stay tuned.
Yeah.
We don't have anything more to say about that.
Yeah,
Game
that's-
speaks for itself. People are very interested specifically just because it's going for something that is an outlier to everything else. While the entire industry trend chases, Unrecord is an outlier, and that's why it's getting all this
So
all this interest, and deservingly so.
I don't know if y'all a fan. Like, I don't know if Hunter's a fan or you, Cash, of Payday. You guys are fans of Payday?
I was into it for a little bit.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those games like every service game where I play it for like
So-
3 months and then drop it. But
The reason why I bring
I
that
thought
up,
it was awesome.
Payday 3 with that type of camera system, Hunter.
Well,
yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I think Payday is like one of the most exciting online games. I would say like I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so unique. out there.
Yep.
There's nothing like it.
Oh yeah, Payday with that type of aiming system. I mean, take my money. Literally, this is how realistic you can make it. Robbing the banks and everything. That would be so lit. But yeah, I would agree, 110%. Shout out to Iman, Rich Swag Lord. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to $2 super chat. Says 100 flex RGT and Big L Cassie. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. I don't know. Was there anything else news related? I think we covered everything. I don't know. Was there?
Look on my
I don't think there was.
my
much
Twitter,
else.
see if there's anything that I tweeted that was interesting. But no, I think we covered a lot, man. It was such. I don't know if we really did. We talk a lot about Hi-Fi. Hi-Fi was. I think we talked a bit about it at the beginning, but that I don't know. I don't know what to believe with that story because like Jeff Grubb saying that the game's not selling well, and Microsoft is like really unhappy and just unhappy with Xbox as a whole. And then you had Aaron Greenberg that replied back with, I would say, like usual PR marketing speak. That's like, oh no, the game was great. We you know, on all measures we loved it. But then of course like doesn't actually say what the measures are. Like it clearly wasn't sales.
Yeah, I got nothing against Aaron Greenberg. He's always been cool with me, especially. He's cool, but I honestly
I'm not saying anything against him. I'm just saying like it's usual marketing speak.
No, I'm saying like that really what I was alluding to. I mean, it's kind of hard to really take anything Aaron says at heart or face
Like
value
I imagine they're happy about the buzz it created. And,
hands down.
They're certainly not going to be happy with the sales, but why? Like it's weird because like why would they be happy about sales of any of their games? None of their games are going to sell well. Why would you buy an Xbox game when you can get it on Game Pass? Like,
yeah,
some people will, but like we obviously know the majority won't.
What is to gain from buying a digital only game that's already available on Game Pass? I would have been interested in buying a copy of the game if there was a physical release. If not, just play it on Game Pass. There's no point.
Yeah. That's what they're hoping for. I mean, I think that's why, again, they're putting more emphasis on saying, hey, guys, our games are now 70, just to get you more, to look to the right. Like, hey, we got Game Pass, $18, $15.
Yeah, I don't really see like this I don't get the metric of them being upset about sales. They don't concentrate on sales. I mean, virtually, they want to push Game Pass, and really, like, they dropped the game day one, zero marketing, and it was a sensation, and people, mass downloaded it on Game Pass. I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. The only thing about this whole story that I thought was funny is like there was this whole like narrative that Hi-Fi crushed Forspoken in sales, and that's totally bogus. Like it was because of the fact that Hi-Fi was higher on the. I think both games came out like the same week, or close enough. But like Hi-Fi was higher on the Steam charts than Forspoken, and it was like I think it was quite a bit. I think for like Hi-Fi might have been like second or third, and Forspoken was like 7th or 8th or something like that week.
It's not just that though. It was the press. Like Forspoken just kind of imploded amongst all the bad press. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still sold. Like the reason why we know it sold better is because NPD Circana they posted about they track the digital sales of Microsoft games. So they track the digital sales of Hi-Fi Rush on Steam and on Xbox as well. And like if you look, like Matt from Circana just posted the latest results, and Forspoken is the 15th best-selling game of the year. Jesus. And Hi-Fi is not in the top 20. Like, wow. Unless Hi-Fi
that many people wasted their money. That's crazy.
The only the one caveat I'll say is like this is the U.S., so there's a slim chance, which I doubt, but there's a slim chance that like Hi-Fi was a smashing success in Europe, and Forspoken bombed. So like there's an offhand.
I mean,
chance,
Forspoken did bomb.
Well,
confirmed by Square.
it did, but I'm just saying it was just really funny that people were saying that Hi-Fi like destroyed Forspoken, which that is absolutely not the reality.
In terms of likability, it did.
In terms of
In
like
terms
quality,
of it running day one,
I'm talking about just purely sales.
Just pure sales was.
People were like everyone was like all these like Xbox podcasts and all that were all saying like, oh yeah, it sold more. It destroyed Forspoken.
The game is available on a live service. I mean, I don't understand this metric. I mean, at this point, it's like which game is good and which game sucks. And Hi-Fi Rush is a good game, and guess what? You don't have to pay $70 to play a good game. It was what, a $30, $40 game if you chose to buy it, or you can get it on Game Pass. Forspoken is a $70 game that is a hot steaming pile of shit. Nobody cares about now. Like, why do people even talk about that game?
The studio behind it's no longer.
I think it was just because it was like Sony was pushing it as like one of their marquee titles for. That's the only reason why. If it wasn't in the PlayStation like showcase events, then nobody would have cared about the game. I don't think.
Yeah, Sony put
did PlayStation gamers waste their money on that game, but so did Sony on getting 2 years of exclusivity on that. The game is truly exclusive because nobody wants it.
I don't think that game's gonna come out on Xbox like after the 2 years. The studio like got dissolved.
Yeah,
they got absorbed in the Square Enix. Like it like destroyed the whole studio. They're definitely not gonna port that game to Xbox.
Yeah, it's
Xbox got their own problems. They shouldn't be concerned with absorbing Square's problems.
Oh Lord, let me start.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm like, I cannot wait to find out. I'm so interested in this like Game Pass experiment because like I like Starfield is probably the one that I'm most interested in because that if that game was sold at retail and if it was multi-platform, it would have easily cleared like 20 to 25 million. Like no problem whatsoever. But Game Pass already has 25 million subscribers, 25 million plus. And I gotta imagine of the 25 million people that would have bought that game, 15 million plus already have a subscription to Game Pass. Like I don't think it's going to sell that well is what I'm saying. Like it's going to sell a few million. It'll probably sell a few million on PC, of course, but it's not going to sell like gangbuster, and which means
but how much is considered gangbuster? A few million's a big deal. My favorite one of my favorite franchises, Bayonetta.
Totally.
Shit, I'm happy that it sells a million at this point.
But I'm just saying, like they like I'm saying in comparison, like 2-3 million is great. Like maybe it sells 5 million.
Yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, I honestly they should have just made Starfield, released a PS5 version and charged everyone $70 for it because clearly there's a lot of crazy people that are willing to pay $70 for Forspoken, a game that's inferior in comparison to something like a Final Fantasy 16. So essentially PlayStation gamers could have funded the entire project by buying it at 70. So I don't really understand why they didn't just say F it, let's just make it multi-platform. Let PS5 gamers fund the creation of the game, and then the extra bank on the side is cool. I just don't understand that point specifically, but the game is gonna be a multi-million copy seller. So we'll see.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
I'm more wondering about like, is that going to be the game that's going to push the Game Pass subs into the stratosphere? Like, are they going to like launch it and then 10 million people are going to sub, or would like, I don't know, like. The majority of people that would have bought it, are they already subbed? We're talking 25, 30 million people already subscribing. Like, is that the player base?
People
for
Starfield? Sub. People are gonna sub for Starfield. They're going to buy. I mean,
I think they're already subbed
outliers
for it.
that want to buy.
I honestly think they're already subbed for it.
They're going to get more subs.
Would they be?
But are they going to get like a significant, is what I'm saying. Like, are they going to get literally 5 million subs to Game Pass because of Starfield?
Yeah.
don't know.
I would probably think they were already subbed to the service after just what they seen prior. You know, there was a lot of people who were sold on what they saw early. A lot of them probably already sold on it to begin with.
I think it'll probably sell, several million on PC, on Xbox. Like,
Yeah.
if it even hits 1 million, I'd be shocked. I think literally every Xbox, like,
Starfield
hardcore
is a
fan.
game that is going to encourage more people to subscribe for the service, and not just for that 1 month. Starfield is going to be a game that's going to keep a lot of people subscribed for a while, just because of the nature of the game itself, especially on PC. I think, honestly, Microsoft is going to look at their PC subscription base and be like, yo, we got to cater to this market because this is our main market. A lot of PC players are going to be be subscribed to Game Pass and stay subscribed to Game Pass for a while for Starfield, no doubt.
Yeah. But the thing that I'm always wondering too is, like, because I definitely foresee that there's going to be a lot, like, literally millions of people that are going to be playing this game daily. But I was also curious too, like, let's just say I'm going to be like, my intention is to play Starfield for, like, 12 months, and that's going to be my main game. What is the point actually really of not just buying the game?
Yeah.
Like, after like, 3-4 months of subbing to Game Pass, you've now paid the same amount that you would have paid if you bought the game. So that's why I'm actually, like, I'm totally curious, like, what's going to happen. Like, if I knew that I was going to be, like, mainly playing Starfield for, the next year, I don't know why I would sub. I just buy the game.
Yeah.
And then I spend my $70, I buy the game. I don't have to worry about shelling out $15-20 a month to continue. I can just buy the game.
Yeah. That's an option. I mean, like, imagine, like, Starfield suckers you in for 2 months and you're like, man, I should just buy the game. So you go buy the game too. You got suckered out of two months worth of subs, and then you also bought the game on top of it all. I mean, like, it comes with the territory. If you stay stubbed to Game Pass, I mean, there's going to be more games that come along that you're going to be enticed to try. It just absorbs you into the service, and you give it a go.
Yeah, like, if I compare that to Activision in that deal, like I could generally see Call of Duty would massively increase the subs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I mean, Call of Duty is just ridiculous. My assumption, I could be wrong, but my assumption is the majority of people that would be interested in a Starfield are probably the hardcore fans, and they're probably already subbed. But Call of Duty, we know, is not, like, mostly the hardcore. It's mostly the casual base that gets into that, right? Which is a totally different audience that probably doesn't sub to Game Pass because they're not a hardcore gamer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think that the Activision deal is like way bigger for Microsoft. Starfield is going to be massive, but Activision is just, like, in a league
that's
above that.
That's the lightning in the bottle thing they're really banking on. It's just, again, it's going to come down to quality for Activision in general, like how they're going to push Call of Duty going forward, and people are going to bite still. People still are loyal to it, but if you think about it, if you look through their track record, they literally went through every setting known to man. They went to the future. They went way back in World War II. They're now here. It's like, I don't know. They have to fix a lot of stuff.
By default, man. I actually do have a couple of casual friends.
They just buy
they're
it?
always like bugging me because they buy, all they do is they buy Call of Duty, like, every year, and then, like, annoy the heck out of me because sometimes like my buds will, like, send me a message. This will be like, the game will come out in November, and they'll, like, message me in, like, March and be like, yo, you wanna jump on Call of Duty? And I'm like, I say this every year, and I'm like, guys, like, I play the game for, like, a month. Okay, like, I don't play Call of Duty. I'm not a Call of Duty player. I buy the games, I play the games, I play it for a month, check out the campaign, check out what's new with multiplayer, and then I put it aside like every other game that I put aside, right? So that, I don't know, these casual people are like totally in a different league, and actually Activision is just, like, it's perfect for them. Like, it's perfect because they get the casual, they get the mobile with King, right?
Yep.
They get mobile, they get, like, a billion downloads for Candy Crush and all that. They get that, and then they get to like double down on the PC, which is their best and main market with Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
It's totally like Bethesda is gonna like Bethesda is gonna be cast aside.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I think from Microsoft management,
Look,
they're gonna be nothing compared to Activision.
Yeah, no. Activision's going to have the red
Call
carpet.
of Duty,
Call
of Duty is massive. Don't get me wrong, but Starfield on PC, that is going to be a big deal. That is a game that will be playable for many years on the PC platform, just specifically because of the modding. That is a game that is going to be carried for a very, very long time. Don't think that just because like they developed this game for a decade, just for it to come out and just be a thing for a month. That's not how that goes. The game is going to probably increase the user base for Xbox games on PC. That's why I think that, in a couple of years, Xbox is probably going to pay even less attention to Xbox users. So if you're an Xbox gamer, you better consider becoming a PC gamer, because you guys are getting forgotten. I mean, look at how they just do not give a shit about the Xbox Series X. You paid $500 and Xbox doesn't even care about you. They're going to cater, in my prediction, more to the PC audience than ever before. Look at Game Pass sales on PC. This game, Starfield, specifically caters to PC. There's a long-term, growth here on PC for Xbox, and they're going to stick with it. They see where the numbers are, and that that means that Xbox, you're going to be catered to less if you have an Xbox. So
totally. Well, the fact that they release games either exclusive on PC or like timed exclusive on PC, and then 6 months or a year later bring it to Xbox, like that alone tells you that you're second rate. Like,
yeah,
like come on, they're not even. Could you imagine if Sony did that? The uproar. Could you imagine if Sony had like 3 or 4 games that came out on PC that didn't come out on PS5?
Yeah, I saw my friend Jay Fonzarelli post that actual comment on Twitter. I shot the Jay Fonz RDX member.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, what you just said, Hunter, and if I was in his shoes, this PlayStation, all I'm saying is couldn't be me. It could be me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't go out like that. I can't go out like that. No.
The PlayStation audience is already still working on coping with the fact that they don't really have real exclusives anymore. That's not a thing. Sooner or later, your games are going over the PC.
Wow.
And they're going to look and play better on PC.
Let's like limit that to like, the hardcore fanboys.
Yep.
Like I'm a PlayStation 2 and I think it's great that it's on PC. I wish they would shrink it to like 6 months or 3 months. Like I don't like what they did with the last. I know the Last of Us Part 1 is a disaster, but like it still came out like half a year after PlayStation.
Not only
5.
that too, though.
That's great. Like they should continue doing that.
It's not only that though about The Last of Us. I mean, they picked arguably one of their most important games in a long time. Yeah. They picked the worst port makers who did what was it, Batman Arkham?
Yeah.
They picked them to port that game, and that's one of your most important games you had on PlayStation. I thought that was like, wow, really shady. That's literally your baby. You know what I mean? That's the game that helped turn a lot of stuff around. You would think that was going to get top priority type of treatment from like a Nixus.
They don't really respect the PC audience with that move. They just said, let's just get, this dumpster fire of a dev team that has a really shoddy track record, probably on the cheaps, to port our game over to PC, and we'll have Naughty Dog, curate the management of them, whatever have you.
I kind of want to say yes, but I kind of disagree. The reason why is because there have been multiple good ports to PC. They actually been pretty good to PC. It's just, I honestly think personally, and this might sound weird to everybody in the chat, but I really think Sony just doesn't give a shit about Last of Us the way that you guys think they care about it. Like, they're doing good with the TV show. The reason why I say that, quality-wise, just do some shit like that. That is a weird look. And also, let's go a little further. Remember how the PR disaster that happened before this, with the whole collector's edition and the remake of Last of Us 1 that no one asked for. I'm saying, like,
I don't know, man. Like, especially with the HBO series, like the Last of Us has to be. I would say God of War, The Last of Us, and Spider-Man are like the 3 pillars of PlayStation.
I agree.
Agreed.
I really don't think. I don't think that it's Sony that doesn't care about The Last of Us. It's one of their biggest pushes, you know, in gaming, really. Not even just they want it to transcend more than gaming. If anything, it's like they seem to want to bring that to every other format possible at this rate. So I don't think it's necessarily that. It's just more so they just thought that the game would sell, and they hoped it would have been good enough at launch.
Okay.
The big problem with PlayStation is that they were so desperate to continue that roller coaster ride off of, you know, the TV show wrapping up, that they wouldn't delay it for nothing.
Yeah,
They said
that's
we'd rather
totally
release it because they know exactly what they released. They knew. It's not, they can't feign ignorance. They knew what they were dropping, but they did it anyway.
Totally, for sure. And like the fact, like, because the reviews for The Last of Us, the review codes actually went out, I think, either the day before, or the day of, like, we could tell, like, in all regards that this usually Sony, when they're confident in their games, they'll give
like months.
Reviewers like 3 weeks early.
Yeah.
Usually 3 weeks is normal. That game was day one, so they of course didn't want reviews of that game to come out for the launch. But yeah, totally. It was just like they knew it needed like another 6 months, but, like, you know, it's hot now with the Last of Us TV show, and that's what they did.
Yeah, it's, oh man, that game, bro. I guess
they you know, they obviously weighed the fact that they're, you know, that they can get patches out for that, right?
So how do you feel?
So
about this?
they were thinking, like, you know, if we delay it 6 months, like, we might lose 80% of sales or whatever they calculated. But if we release now, we can get the sales. But then hopefully we can patch it. Like, I don't know. It was.
How you feel
must
about?
Have been a disaster to plan this game's launch.
Oh, dude, you think that's a disaster? Picture this: when we do get Factions 2, and this goes back to that conversation. Factions 2, games as a service. You know, its own little thing, but a bundle. You know, you're gonna get Last of Us 2 remake, Last of Us 1.
You mean the way that The Last of Us 2 was supposed to release before they tore up the multiplayer from the game? The reason why I didn't buy The Last of Us 2 day one and instead waited for it to be half the price, because that was all it was realistically worth because there was no Factions 2. Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
Because both games didn't have factions, so now we're like, oh, you get both this time. Hey, you get factions, the ultimate. They call it the ultimate survival something. I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel.
Because
apparently this is free to play. Factions. It's going to be free to play, supposedly.
Oh, yeah. I
remember.
That's not the case, but
yo,
yeah,
you wouldn't be happy if that was free to play? I mean, the multiplayer? You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on how good it is. Like, I mean,
games,
I always feel
nowadays. I'm sorry, Hunter, go
although
ahead.
I guess there are, like, a couple of good examples. Like, you know, I love Apex Legends, and that one's free to play.
Yeah.
There you go. My bad.
Yeah, for me, it's one of those things. A lot of games release at the $60 to $70 price tag with free to play model elements are baked in. So yes, I'd rather take a free to play game as a free to play game as opposed to paying $70 for what is essentially a free to play game.
I don't know. They might get it. That might be the strategic way of going about it. I don't know how this is going to go.
You know, that would be interesting because a lot of people, in order to justify The Last of Us Part 2 releasing without the multiplayer, would constantly tell me, oh, people didn't play, factions that much anyway. I don't know why you're bitching and whining about this. Can't wait for suddenly everyone to do a fucking U-turn on that one and say, oh, man, factions was amazing. Can't wait to play Factions Part 2. I don't care if it's $70. I'm getting it day one because, that's typically how the fanboys are anyway.
Yeah, it happened in record time. Not too long. That's the wild part.
I think personally, I think the way that they're going to differentiate this game from other online, games as a service type games. I think that I actually fully expect that this is going to have like a pretty decent story. I think that they'll probably actually have like ongoing story content with it. They mentioned that they were going to have like story elements. Like you're gonna, I don't know, you're gonna go on a mission that's not just like shoot the other player, right? It's good. There's actually going to be like a story behind what you're doing.
Yeah, they're probably gonna throw in elements from the TV show. Remember how like the little link thing, like you touch those, you alert the other infected. There might be game modes in behind stuff like that. There might be a battle royale style game mode in this where you they
could have like a mini campaign, like almost like Destiny, but like not quite as like robust as that. Just kind of like.
I mean, if I'm Sony,
a 5-hour campaign or something.
Yeah, if I'm Naughty Dog, I'm taking a few ideas from. I remember Dying Light. Remember how like Dying Light, you had to go grab those little cases that fall from the air, like the little supply cases. I'm taking ideas like that from like have marauders. I think that's what they were called, marauders or hunters. Have them go out there for like certain supplies. You know what I mean? Add a new spin to supply rate. Like stuff like that. There's a lot of potential you can do. And from what they said, it's not going to be Ellie and Joel. It's going to be in a completely different area, a completely different faction of people. So maybe
I'm expecting like mocap and all that too, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm fully expecting cutscenes with mocap and all that.
Yeah, because they were gonna have to make him. Well, I'm guessing they're trying to tie him in, right? Like let's say, I don't know, maybe Ellie makes a cameo. You think, guys? I think that's probably what that's gonna be their way of justifying this new group.
Ellie, don't do it.
Because remember, Ellie walks away at the end of Last of Us 2, and a lot of people are asking, where does she go? Where is her fate now? Her family's gone. Joel's gone. Does she wander in this direction and she runs into these people? Is that going to be their tie-in? It's gonna kind of feel like Fear the Walking Dead, like how they did that.
They did that with like the Horizon VR game.
Yeah.
Like Call of the Mountain is you're not playing as Aloy, but Aloy is in the game. So.
Aw, no. I thought that maybe that would have been a VR worthy purchase when I do invest in VR, but I'm good.
Yeah, you gotta see
walking plank. Damn, tomato face. I'm good. Big yikes.
Oh God, this one.
Please give me.
Yes, let me Modelo's question. Question. Let's answer this for the chat. We got 47. Everybody hit that like button. We almost at 100 likes, but if you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button. Enjoy. But how many Modelos have you had today, Cass? Because you've been off today.
None.
You had some.
Oh no.
Look at the camera. All right, look at the camera. All the way in the camera.
Look at this. Look at this.
This one right here. That's been off.
No, do not put Ellie in factions. Her character's completely ruined from part 2. The reason why I stopped playing the game is not even because of Abby. It was because Ellie was an insufferable bitch that I couldn't stand. A completely different character from part 1 as far as I'm concerned, and I really just don't want to see her face. Just give me no-name characters. Don't give me love interest nonsense. Don't give me any kissing between heterosexual or homosexual couples. I don't give a shit. I just want a game that has good gameplay, that has, basically a design that keeps me invested for a long period of time, that doesn't have weapons that you could buy in the store that kind of give you an advantage like Factions 1 did. Let's not go down that route. If you're going to have obviously monetization.
That's going to be amplified times 15 in this one. In
No. It's going to happen. Let monetization be skins or whatever have you. And please do not make the game a unicorn vomit looking experience. The Last of Us is great because of the atmosphere. Do not destroy your atmosphere like Gears 4 and 5 did with the unicorn vomit all over the place. It just takes me completely out of the experience. Just make it a gritty survival multiplayer experience that I can genuinely fall in love with. And characters that just kill, and that's it. Like, simplistic in nature, but give me a reason to want to survive in this world. That's what I want. A reason to survive and a reason to feel like, damn, shit is messed up. Hey, my homie Osna, come help me, get this food for our group or whatever. Like, let me get stuff like that going, okay? I don't need any kissy, any huggy bullshit. I just want a good multiplayer game that I can have fun with my friends.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing I don't want in factions too. And some of you guys might in the chat be going, but Big Cloud, it kind of defeats the point of factions. Well, I didn't like the way it was done in the first one, but I remember the 12-week survival thing for your community, the little mini game you had to manage while playing. I kind of want that to be a little better handled. I didn't really like that. It's the only thing I don't want. I want that to be changed.
Do you want that just like taken out completely, or just reworked?
Reworked in a way where it's more easier to read. It makes sense. Like, remember how like you would like beat your challenges and you would think that you won and you're good, and then like 60% of your community gets wiped out regardless of how you did. And if you didn't give a shit, you can mess around and lose your entire community at the end of the survival of it. That type of thing. Like, you'll have like sick, you'll have wounded, you'll have I think you have sick, wounded, and hungry, right? And you have to manage that. Like, it should be a way to fix that. Should be a way of handling, like, okay, if I do this challenge, do I get food for my community, or do I get medicine? You see what I'm saying with this, Hunter? Like, rework it, make it make sense. I would prefer something like that. But as far as what Cassie's talking about in terms of weapons, I hate to break it to you. You're going to have pay-to-win weapons. I can already see it.
Pay-to-win weapons?
I already see it happening. I can see assault rifles being thrown into this. Assault rifles. I'm tell you why it's gonna work. Because the first one worked, and guess what? Still, people are still playing that with them OP assault rifles.
Different world now.
I know.
It's a different world now, bro. Shit pay to win.
Hey.
That ain't gonna go. It ain't gonna fly.
It ain't gonna be day one. I don't see it day one. They're gonna probably wait like a year and like some change, and while everybody's tired of what they got, and then slowly but surely start pumping out different guns, different 2x4s you can craft in the game that you can buy and craft.
Can it just be
bombs?
Gold and diamond?
I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
Well, I don't like the whole point of them buying Bungie is to learn from them when it comes to live services, and I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Destiny's doing any of that kind of stuff, right? Like, I know people have issues with some of the changes that they're making, but they're not making like pay to win scenarios like what you're talking about there.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think they would have learned by now that the community is going to react negatively to that, and
it's possible, depending on how well it's received, though. That's the thing. Like, I'm talking about, like, what I'm saying, like, it could happen if, let's say, they go the route that you're talking about now with Destiny, if that doesn't pan out the way they really want it.
I don't know, but they I'm sure they're looking at all the other big games. That they're looking at, Apex and all that, and like, that game's not
Call of Duty
and Fortnite.
So you think Battle Pass?
You know what I mean?
So you guys think more Battle Pass stuff, maybe? If that was your thing, because that's how Call of Duty's been doing it with just Battle Pass.
I think Battle Pass and skin.
Battle Pass and store skins that are retardedly priced.
Yeah, no, guns are there are. See, that's the thing. Call of Duty does the weapons. Guns are actually in the Battle Pass though. For Call of Duty, you can get like the honey badge stuff. If I remember correctly, you can get that stuff because I had that. So you can.
Well,
I mean, they might have it in battle passes, but they're not gonna. I doubt that they would have like OP stuff in there, right?
There's so many skins in Call of Duty that give you like certain designs.
I know. Yeah, like it moves.
Yeah, like powers. Yeah, like it changes the dynamic of the gun. So there's so many different dynamics of each gun anyway. Then does it really matter in that instance? It's kind of.
What about,
it is touchy, but it is like it's so many different variations anyway that it's kind of hard to really say that there is a broken gun specifically in the game that you can only buy.
Okay, that's good. Good point. God, it was just a lot of stuff to take in from it. All right. Well, on that note, we covered everything. We're just talking at this point with you guys. But listen, you guys enjoyed today's episode. hit that like button. Shout out to everybody who came through. It was fun. Shout out to the Sylvester Stallone of the podcast, Miss Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Adrian, I did it.
Yeah. See, Hunter don't know. She's actually related to Sylvester Stallone. So that's why she's so loud. Look at her face. Did I?
Well, that explains.
Oh.
We was watching literally. I was dying laughing. We was watching Demolition Man out a couple days ago, and literally she turned her camera off when he starts running from the damn the explosion. He's like at the he's like. But when I closed, I'm like, nah, do the face, guys. She didn't want to do it. She looked just like I'm like, bro, okay, fine, don't do the face. God. Got so much dirt on Cass, it ain't even real, but it ain't fun. Anyway, shout out to you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
Cass, go ahead, plug your channel, man. Tell everybody where to find you.
Yeah, man, you guys can find me, Cult Classic Cage, on YouTube, Twitter, and Kick. Yes, consider, if you're into alternative platforms and just free reign, Kick is pretty cool so far. It's alternative to Twitch, so I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun. I don't have to worry about any nonsense.
Gucci King tossed some Doofy from Scary Boy. Oh, God, don't do that. That's stupid. Doofy.
No, it was good hanging out with you guys in the chat, by the way. It was funny. I definitely encountered some comments that were so trying hard at being so offensive that they made me laugh. So you guys put a smile on my face. Thank you.
Hey, just say when you wear this badge, will treat me like a man of law. There you go. Let me stop.
Dude, I just noticed. I just noticed that. So you didn't tweet about us being live, but Mooch did.
Did he
So
really? Wow.
I retweeted Mooch.
Yeah, I did too.
But even though we're gonna sign off in 2 minutes.
Shout out to
But
Mooch.
shout out to Mooch for promoting the show.
Yeah, because BitCloud won't even promote his own freaking show. Yeah, good job, BitCloud.
Well, to be fair, I woke up at literally super late for it. I got late. Yeah, so yeah, don't you stare. Don't you dare. You know what I'm talking about, Cash.
You're not a professional tweeter like some of these other people in the gaming community are that only play Twitter.
That's all I say. That's all I gotta say. Hunter, they should join this, brother. I was going through.
Yep.
You want to do
Yeah,
your
it's super
outro?
fun time.
Nah, Hunter. Give me.
He's-
Sorry. What? Sorry.
I was saying.
Yeah, he was,
Are we signing
he was,
off?
Yeah,
he
we're
was
signing off.
pulling a last podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. Check me out on Twitter. I'm Next Gen Player on Twitter. I try to tweet as much as I can about the news and all the things that are going on. Keep everyone informed. And yeah, man, I don't know. Aside from that, we didn't really talk about what we're playing these days, but I just started playing the Final Fantasy Pixel. I beat and got the platinum for Final Fantasy 1.
Oh.
And man, it's so good, man. I actually really like that they let you cheat in those games, because but for Final Fantasy 1, I played and I beat Final Fantasy 1 3 or 4 times now, and I didn't really I wanted to go through it, but I didn't want to spend the full 20 hours or whatnot. So you can I turned up the amount of money that you get.
Yeah.
Because I remember in that game, every time I got to a new town, I'd have to spend 30 minutes grinding to get the gold, so I could get the new armor and the new swords and all that. So I was like, this is great, man. It lets me just double the gold. I could walk diagonal finally, in these games. Graphics are just so good too. So yeah, so I just started Final Fantasy 2, which I've never played before.
Yeah.
Never played Final Fantasy 2 or Final Fantasy 3. I played Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6. So, but yeah, I'm excited to check out and see what Final Fantasy 2 is like. So far, I'm 20 minutes into it. It's pretty good so far. But yeah, finally a good release from. I know Square had a bunch of duds lately, but finally they knocked it out of the park, I think.
Square Enix as the latest on that Ubisoft energy. They're like a slot machine at the casino. You're only gonna get.
Yeah, you just never know what you're gonna get.
You get random stuff. That's that kind of year. Shout out to Red Hood. Oh, Cass, see? What did I tell you, Cass? I told you he wasn't gonna be able to make it. He's also like, yo, Big Cloud. He's on the phone. He's on the phone with me, honey. He's like, yo, Big Cloud. Yo, I'll probably be like 30 minutes. I got to install my AIO in my PC, in my damn in Windows. I'm like, you do realize it takes like what, an hour to set up a damn Windows operating system?
Just let him join and talk to himself. Like, we'll sign off. He can just join by himself. And...
Oh God! Then he has to. Then he has to go and reinstall Discord. I mean, this dude, he gonna have a oof. Red Hood's having a bad day. Shout out to Red Hood though. Shout out to Red Hood. Well, we'll see you next week.
He's earning his keep in PC Master Race. Okay.
Yeah, I had to buy a whole new rig.
Well, no, he just bought
a CPU.
He bought the case.
No,
bought a new case.
He had to buy a new board, CPU, because he got a new CPU.
I got you.
I think he went Ryzen this time. I think he said, yeah, he went AMD. So he went with the new AMD. So he went upgraded. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Appreciate you. And we will see you guys next week. Y'all be good, man. I'm out of here.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.